DraftKings Casino and get up to $50 in free credits, plus a deposit bonus up to $2,000. That's like extra credit in the form of a bonus. Download the DraftKings Casino app or play online today. Get up to $50 in credits to use on any game, plus a deposit bonus up to $2,000. Now, roll credits.
WTHN, your Black and Gold Nation station.
Toyota Dawn is on. Now's the time to get a great deal on Tacoma, RAV4, Camry, and more. I'll take it. I'll get this wrapped up for you. I wish I hadn't just unwrapped it.
Right now, buy a Tacoma and get 2.49% APR financing for 72 months. Or buy an all-wheel drive Benz hybrid with 1.9% APR financing.
Toyota Dawn is on.
Following my halftime performance on Thanksgiving on CBS, I welcome everyone to the jungle in a must-win game for the black and gold Pittsburgh Steelers on the road today in the AFC North, taking on the 6-4 Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati defeated Pittsburgh back in Week 3 by a final score of 24-10, of course, capitalizing off of 2 Steeler turnovers and scoring 2 touchdowns, eventually the difference in the win. Cincinnati coming off of a road win last week against the Silver and Black Raiders, who the Steelers lost to the week prior when these 2 teams last met in September. Pittsburgh, in the meantime, lost last Sunday night at the Chargers by a final score of 41-37 in a game that was back and forth for the most part. A little bit of a slow start, but they got back in it. Had the game lost, I don't know how many damn times, but found a way to come back. Had it won, and then lost it again. And Pittsburgh now, having not won in 3 weeks, they sit at 5-4-1, of course, with the loss last week and the week before the tie at home against the Detroit Lions. Cincy, a 3.5-point home favorite, sitting at 6-4 from Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Pittsburgh, no turnovers today. That was the difference in the loss against the Bengals. Week 3, it was a 24-10 win once again. 2 turnovers, 2 touchdowns. Do the math. Pittsburgh also, along with Cincinnati, this game is going to be one up front trenches, I do believe. Running game with Najee Harris and Joe Mixon. Now, Pittsburgh, Joe Hayden's still going to be out at cornerback. James Pierre will, in fact, get the start alongside Cameron Sutton. However, Pittsburgh will receive back number 90, TJ Watt, and number 39, Minkah Fitzpatrick. But once again, also, who the hell steps up on this Steeler defense and makes some big plays when the game's on the line? Pittsburgh won in this very state of Ohio last month on Halloween as well. They defeated Cleveland Browns 15-10, but they haven't won at Cincinnati since this very weekend 2 years ago. As remember, they lost at Cincinnati on the Monday night before Christmas last year. So we'll see if the Steelers can snap a 2-game losing streak versus Houday Bengals, along with picking up their first win in 3 weeks' time, dating back to the Monday night win against the Bears a few weeks ago. But Cincinnati, in the meantime, is looking to win 3 in a row against the black and gold for the first time in 31 years.
Alrighty, Phil, I'm going to start with sacks for the high. Give me the Patriots. Their defense has been on fire lately with 15 sacks during their 5-game
But
winning
really, in the end, this game, for the most part, as it always does in this hard-fought Houday, here we go, rivalry. These 2 teams and fan bases hate each other. Expect a close game. Down to the wire, back and forth. I mean, maybe, as it was week 3, low scoring, and then second half it picks up some steam. What defense bends but doesn't break. But in all of Pittsburgh's games, here now, week 12, sitting at 5-4-1, the largest margin of victory is only 8. Largest defeat was to these Bengals, losing by 14. So a close game. a very close game with the Bengals and Steelers. So, as always, something's got to give. We'll see what does. But thank you for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, the Encyclopedia of Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below with that thumbs up button. Share hashtag NFL, hashtag Steelers, hashtag Bengals. Chat questions and comments. Super chat, super stickers, always greatly appreciated. In the meantime, we're underway with the Steelers on the kickoff, left to right. So on the return with a touchback, 1st and 10 Bengals from the 25-yard line, right to left across your television screen, radio, and audio dial. On CBS, Steelers, Bengals. On Fox in my area, Eagles and Giants. Those two games are, in fact, the two I am currently watching. We will update stats and scores. Also take a look around the rest of the NFL as well, coming up at halftime. But should be an exciting afternoon of NFL football with a few damn good games here at 1 o'clock into the late afternoon window, and also Sunday and Monday Night Football as well, following the 3 games we had to begin the week on this past Thursday, Thanksgiving 2021. Hopefully everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. That play, a 5-yard pass near side in the flat, complete. 2nd down and 5 now for the Bengals from the 30-yard line. Burrow going to be under center, the Tiger King himself. Is a motion man, but they hand off again, and Mixon's going to break a tackle out past the 45-50 into Steeler territory, brought down at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, Cincinnati. They brought Higgins in motion from the top of your screen and then ran left near side. Minka with the tackle. Just wait until Cincinnati establishes running game, and then Burrow opens up the play action. Turnovers on both sides, but Pittsburgh, you can't turn the ball over today. It cost you the win against the Bengals week 3. I believe Boswell, from what I can recall, also had a missed field goal in that matchup as well. But, you know, once again, something's got to give. We'll see what does, because I'm sure something will. But 2nd and 7 now. Good to see T.J. Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick back. They'll get Joe Hayden back eventually. He's out once again with a foot injury. But Cam Sutton's played well at corner. James Pierre as well. Arthur Millette. And then Terrell Edmonds on the back end as well. But in the middle, okay, T.J. Watt playing backer and on the end. And we're going to get a defensive pass interference on the Steelers here, it looks like, with the first penalty flag of the afternoon. Hopefully we won't have 28 like we did on Thursday. But it'll be a spot foul and a DPI, automatic first down for the Bengals. It's a good call. Yeah. It was all over him. And 10 for Chris Evans. And falls incomplete, but they get a pass interference out of it, first down. But no, in the middle, you know, you have T.J. Watt, Devin Bush, Joe Schobert, Alex Highsmith, and Robert Spillane. Who steps up? Because, you know, a few of those in the middle, minus the latter 2, they've been playing all right, but they need to be playing 10 times better here on defense. But it all starts off front. I mean, Cam Hayward, brother, had a big game yesterday against Penn State. Mixon on the run. This might be coming back for a hold. 10 yards, replay the down. So now back-to-back penalties. But, it starts up front, offensively and defensively. As mentioned, I feel this game's going to be one in the trenches. You got to be able to block the run, get after the opposing quarterback, stop the run, force a few turnovers. Just don't do anything stupid with, turnovers and penalties. And actually, that was an offside on the Steelers, so back-to-back penalties costing Pittsburgh some Cincinnati yardage. And penalties going to be declined because it went for about 8, 7 officially, okay? 2nd down and 3. So they take the 7-yard run rather than a 5-yard penalty. So, yeah, smart decision, smart choice, of course, to decline the penalty. You take your yardage on that play. So now 2nd and 3, Cincinnati from the 31. And 2.5, maybe 3-yard run right there at the first down marker. He's going to be short. 3rd and 1, it looks like. So once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. 3rd and 1 for the Bengals. We're underway with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Also Philadelphia and the Big Blue New York Football Giants. Also via a link, NFL Red Zone. A few other, as mentioned, damn good 1 o'clock games on right now before we get into Rams and Packers at 4:30. And then Sunday night being the other AFC North battle today in Cleveland and Baltimore. Monday night, tomorrow night, Seattle and Washington. 1st and 10. Cincinnati marching downfield here on their opening drive, 3 minutes in. It's balance. Burrow's only thrown it, once? And it was incomplete, or twice. The first play of the game went for 5 yards. Then they get a first down out of it, but then he threw again, and then it was incomplete. But then remember that pass interference, and penalties are hurting him right now. Got to play smart. So now out of the gun, Burrow from the 26 looking to throw, stepping up. Pass is going to be caught near side for 9 to the former Pitt Panther from Clarendon and Tyler Boyd, who has really, in his NFL career with the Bengals, truly been the number 2 his whole entire career. But he's reliable. He's a good wide receiver. He sat behind A.J. Green. Now, of course, Jamar Chase takes over his spot, rookie out of LSU. Back with his former college teammate and the Tiger King himself, number 9, Joe Burrow. Pass goes for 9 yards, 2nd and 1. Here comes a run, I bet. Yeah, Burrow hands off. First down for Mixon inside the 15, out at the 11. They'll have 8 shots to punch it in now, 1st and 10. But then they also have T. Higgins, another former Tiger, now a Bengal. And, as many weapons as Burrow has to throw to, and a good running game and a good defense, Cincinnati, they should be doing what they're doing right now, sitting at 6-4. And they should be able to win a few more games. And for the most part, I'd feel safe to say right now they're going to be in the playoffs. But there's still a hell of a lot of football left to be played from now until the end of the year. 3 yards up the middle, 2nd and 7. And there's a hell of a lot of football left to be played today as well. We're only 5 minutes in, and Pittsburgh hasn't even had the ball yet on offense. But on defense, here they're allowing Cincinnati to drive and score. So bending but not breaking. They're going to have to, of course, game progresses, get a few stops, no doubt about it. But, once again, good to see Watt and Minka back, but somebody else still has to step up. So until then, they make some plays and force field goals, make them settle rather than giving up touchdowns. Burrow on a scramble, avoiding the sack. He's going to reach across the goal line, so to speak, and into the end zone for 6, touchdown Cincinnati. And they drive 75 yards in about 5.5 minutes and strike first, up 6-0, pending the McPherson upcoming extra point. So an 8-yard touchdown run by number 9 in the Tiger King himself, Joe Burrow, who this time last year blew his knee out and then was done for the year. Pittsburgh went Cincinnati, as mentioned, the Monday before Christmas last year, and lost to his backup. As, of course, they started 11-0, but then lost 5-6 and got bounced by the Browns in the first round of the playoffs. But now here we are in 2021, 1-3 start. They won 4 in a row. They tied 2 weeks ago, and they lost by 4 last week in a game they should have won. And now they trail on the road early at Cincinnati by 7. So, defensively, you're going to have to make some stops. You're not going to be able to allow them to drive 75 yards, drive after drive, and just continue to score on you, because if the offense doesn't get cooking and they can't run the football, this game's going to be over before halftime. And once again, they can't turn the ball over either, because when they played Cincinnati before, 2 turnovers, Cincinnati capitalized with 2 touchdowns, and that ended up being the difference. Because they don't turn it over, they're tied at 10. If everything else, of course, goes the way it did. And then also, as mentioned, I believe Boswell missed a field goal that game. I'm going to have to look on that. If anybody does in fact know, let me know in the comments. I'm pretty sure. He's missed a few kicks this year, but he's come up clutch a few times as well. So, take the good with the bad there. But, for really what it's worth, I mean, okay, he went down last time they played in Ohio because they ran that fake punt or fake field goal before halftime, and then was out the rest of the game, and they found a way to beat Cleveland, and then he came back, and he's had a few game-winning kicks. He's missed a few, but it is what it is. But no, can't turn the ball over because the difference was, when they last played Cincinnati Week 3 at home in the first of the 3 2-game homestands. Now the rest of the way until the regular season with this final and only 2-game road trip this year. It's home away, home away, home away the rest of the year until the playoffs begin. Hopefully Pittsburgh is in come mid-January, but can't turn the ball over. Because if they don't turn the ball over, once again, the game's tied at 10, and I do believe Boswell, yes, he did. Now, I look it up, missed a field goal that game. And you do the math, no turnovers, no extra 14 points for Cincinnati. They're up 7 right now, 7-0, driving 75 and scoring their opening drive. Just not tuning in. That game's tied at 10. Do the math. He makes the field goal. They win by 3, 13-10, and, don't go on a 3-game losing streak. And, probably are, 2-2 at that point. Maybe, okay, a few more wins, maybe a few more losses. I don't know. I mean, these games have played out the way they have, so it is what it is. They're 5-4-1, even though they probably should have a few more wins, to be honest with you. Because those 3 losses, even last week and in the tie game against the Lions in overtime, seemed like nobody wanted to win that 2 weeks back. Late, they gave up big plays that eventually won the opposition the game. So, Pittsburgh on the return, and that is number 26, Anthony Tony McFarland on the return for the black and gold. Be 1st and 10 Pittsburgh from around the 24, 25-yard line, depending on the spot. At least today, with my live watch-along reactions, live right here on YouTube, I can actually see the goddamn fucking field. Yesterday, of course, Penn State, Michigan State in a blizzard from Spartan Stadium in East Lansing, just north, but we're south in Cincinnati. And the sun's out, about 40 degrees. It's cold, but it's 40. So, weather shouldn't be a factor. Zach Gentry in motion. Ben under center, officially from the 23, looking to throw. It's going to be caught by Deontay Johnson for a Pittsburgh Steeler. First down, right at the first down marker. Move the sticks, 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. Under 10 to play here. Pittsburgh on offense for the first time, trailing by 7 at Cincinnati. 7-zip Bengals. Got to get the ball to the tight ends a little bit more once again today. Find a running game with Harris. Rock the Nage, if you will, Pittsburgh dad. And now 1st and 10 from the 34. Hand off to 22. Just run 22. Just run the rookie out of Alabama. Of course, Roll Tide with a 4 overtime win in the Iron Bowl yesterday at Auburn. Play Georgia in the SEC Championship game now. Next week, we'll preview Conference Championship weekend in college football next week, along with NFL Week 13 coming up throughout the day as well, so stay tuned. But first half stats and scores first at halftime and throughout the game here today as well as always. But in the meantime, 2nd and 7 from the 37 for the Steelers. Ben out of the gun, going to step up near side, and it's picked off. What the fuck? Chase Claypool wasn't even looking for it. And this is going to be returned for a touchdown. Actually, no, brought down at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Bengals from the 5. Turnovers, what'd I say? Turnovers. Claypool wasn't even looking for it. And now Freiermuth on the tackle, limping. Can't afford to lose him. They're already out with Kevin Rader, so it's going to be Ebron and Gentry the rest of the way. But it seems to me Claypool ran the wrong fucking route. Ben was going on an out route, a comeback near side, and Claypool was running a go route down the near side, and they just couldn't connect, and Ben threw it, and the defender caught it and ran it back. to the 5-yard line. Now they have a 1st and goal, and they're going to run Mixon up the middle, and he's going to be brought down the 2.5, 3-yard line. So 2nd and goal. Turnovers. You can't turn the goddamn ball over. Expect to win, especially on the damn road. You're already putting yourself in a hole. Down 7, and then you turn it over on your opening drive on offense, and now you're going to be even in a bigger hole. Good luck getting out of it. Mixon on the give again. Spin move at the 1. He's going to be brought down by Cameron Hayward. So Pittsburgh on defense holding the fort down for the time being on this drive at least. Not allowing a 75-yard drive, but, if Cincinnati can drive 75 yards, they can drive 5 yards and score another touchdown. So, don't give me that bullshit. Okay, if they force them and it's over 3, so be it. Better than give them another touchdown, but now 3rd and goal. Cincinnati is going to score some points here, just a matter of fact if it's going to be a 3 or 7. Can't turn the damn ball over. Burrow on a play action, rolling out, going to step up, and he's going to be brought down by Chris Wormley at the 13-yard line on a sack. So, okay, tackle for loss on the sack, and now McPherson going to have to come out for about a 30-yard field goal. So, they once again rely on this defense way too damn much. Just can't turn the ball over. Ben trying to do too much early, but Ben has to be Ben, though, too, because they have no running game. Until they find a running game, the rest of the offensive playbook opens itself up, which it will. Believe me, it will. They'll be all right then at that point. They just got to keep it simple. Balance and consistency, run the football, run the play action, play good defense. Now they trail by 10. 9 minutes in, 10-0 Bengals, leading the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, a slow start, needed a fast start, as they did week 3 against the Bengals. Didn't get it. Not getting it once again today by any means, but I'll digress. That was then, this is now, but history repeating itself, and here we go again. Same old situation, if you will. And just very frustrating, as all hell. Very frustrating. Like I said, at least I can see the field. There's no snow on the gridiron today in the NFL. Now, maybe later on night with the Green Bay Packers again, but no, it doesn't seem like any weather will affect any NFL games this week, as that snow front came through the Midwest into the Mid-Atlantic Northeast region yesterday into today. But same time, I'm no weatherman. If it's nice out, it's nice out. If it's raining, it's raining. If it's snowing, it's snowing. There is no global warming by any means, in my opinion, but it is what it is. Here early, okay, Roethlisberger 1 and 2, 11 yards. That completion was Deontay Johnson for 1st down. At least they, had something going, it seemed like, and then he threw the pick. And they return it almost for 6, and they do end up punching it in, but it was only a field goal. Pittsburgh had to force a field goal, and now they trail by 10. So since he settled for 3, 10-0. Burrow's 2 of 2 for 14 yards. But the difference, as Najee Harris, okay, Pittsburgh had the ball, 3 plays and a pick on 2nd down there after 1st down? Yeah. Najee Harris, 1 carry, 3 yards. Whereas Joe Mixon, this game's going to be one up front in the trenches in the running game. They got to find a running game today. Joe Mixon has 9 carries for 53 yards already. Okay? Just pathetic. Can't run it, can't stop it either. Can't turn it over. And now you're in a hole. And they show some still images from the week 3 matchup. But that was a loss for Pittsburgh. 2nd of the year before a 3-game losing streak. They won 4 in a row with a bye week in between, tied 2 weeks back, and lost last week. 5-4-1, down 10. 10-0. Johnson has a catch for 11 yards. Claypool, I feel he ran the wrong route there, and that's why it was picked off. But then Burrow has a carry for 8 yards and the lone Bengal touchdown by either team today as well. But then Boyd a catch for 9 yards and Mixon a catch for 5 yards. So 6:01 to play in the opening quarter, 10-0 Bengals. And we'll have a touchback with a kneel down in the end zone, 1st and 10, black and gold from the 25-yard line. Also, right now, around the National Football League, we have some updated scores with, arguably, as mentioned, a few damn good 1 o'clock kicks here. Good one at 4:30 with the Rams and Packers Sunday night, Cleveland and Baltimore, and then Seahawks, Skins, the Washington football team, if you will. But now 1st and 10, Pittsburgh from the 25. Ben going to go deep near side. Back to Claypool, and he's going to come down with it at 33. Okay, so they go back to it. That was a better play call. It's probably the play Claypool wanted to run, and Ben didn't, and that's why, of course, you had the interception. Yeah, just trying to go around as you were. I'll hit you this time, which I do, and now we got a 1st and 10. Biggest play of the game by either team in Bengal territory, down right on the outside of the 30-yard line. As that went for 41 yards. Okay, 1st and 10 from the 34 officially. Ben under center. Run 22. Run Najee Harris. Ben, damn fucking penalty flag. Fix the give. Complete. Far side. Right at the first down marker on a comeback to 18. Deontay Johnson. But we'll see what dirty laundry is. But that went for 9, but it's coming back because of an illegal formation. They'll replay the down.
Number 72 reported as eligible.
5 yards. It'll be 1st and long. So 10-0 Bengals. The Giants lead the Eagles by 3. Colts on top of the Bucks by 3 as well right now. The 4 games I'm speaking of today, 3 at 1 o'clock here. Steelers, Bengals, Bucks, Colts, and Titans, Patriots. Probably in reverse order from best to worst, but they're all damn good games. We also have the Dolphins on top of the Panthers right now by 7. From the 39, 1st and 15 after the penalty. Handoff. And Kalen Ballage, he'll get about a yard. Or excuse me, that was Benny Snell, 24, not 29. But still only a yard. 2nd and 14. At least, okay, they're trying to get all 4 backs involved here early. Find some sort of running game. You know, it's Najee Harris, but McFarland in the return game with no Ray McLeod out on the COVID-19 reserve list. And then also, you know, Benny Snell there and, you know, Kalen Ballage at some point in time here today because they've been working him as of late as well. But 2nd and 14, that's an offside by Cincinnati. Penalty flag comes a flying. Ben's got a free play, and it goes for 5, so they'll probably replay it at 2nd and 9 rather than have a 3rd and 9. It was complete. Ben to Deontay Johnson, his favorite target. Of course, now the true number 1 with Juju Smith-Schuster out for the season with a shoulder injury suffered almost 2 months ago now. But it was an empty set, 5 wide out of the gun. You know, Ben with a 5-yard completion, take the 5 yards, 2nd and 9 now, rather than 3rd and 9. 4:09 to play in this opening quarter. Pittsburgh trails on the road by 10-zip against the Cincinnati Bengals. So 2nd and 9. Ball at the 33. Yard further on downfield from the new set of downs after that big pass to Claypool. And then a simple dump off that goes nowhere. And it'll be 3rd down and long. 3rd and 8.5, 9. For some reason, they always pan to fucking Matt Canada in the booth. Every goddamn game. Calling the plays. I get he's up in the booth as the OC, not on the field. But they don't need to pan to him every game. Like, I hope Steeler fans by this point know who the hell he is with how good, but also how bad the play calling has been this year. But you don't need to keep showing his face every time. Crosser over the middle, goes for another Steeler 1st down for 12 to Deontay Johnson. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh, 3-3 and counting to play in this opening quarter. I could really care less who they, shown the stands or in the booth. It's just all these networks, because Pittsburgh's played on CBS, Fox, and NBC along with ESPN this year. And, they'll be on CBS next week before they head to Minnesota to play on a Thursday night, a couple weeks before Christmas there. Fake the give, 1st and 10. Ben going to throw it on the ground, incomplete, 2nd down and 10. Just don't make a habit out of it. They've all done it. I mean, it's just how it is. Got our first update on CBS. Dolphins, as mentioned, they were leading the Panthers 7-0, but Cam Newton in his return, he has a 1-yard rushing touchdown. And the Panthers tied up from South Beach at 7 apiece. So 10-0 Bengals, 2nd and 10 Pittsburgh here from the 22. The Colts lead the Buccaneers 3-0. Panthers 7 apiece at Miami. New England leads Tennessee 7-0. And Mike Vrabel's return to Foxborough to take on his former boss and Bill Belichick. 2nd and 10 and a screen. I don't know who the hell you're throwing to there, Ben. Looked like you're going to dump it off to Harris. But then he goes to 81. Zach Gentry, the former Michigan quarterback. Big win for the Wolverines yesterday in the game against Ohio State. They'll now play Iowa next Saturday night in the Big Ten championship game. And if they win, they'll be in the college football playoff. But I'll digress about college football right now. We'll discuss more of that later here this afternoon into next week and the weeks to come. Just be sure to subscribe and tune back in for more live watch-along reactions. NFL Week 12, big 3rd down for the Steelers, down 10 at Pittsburgh, 2.5 to play in the opening quarter. Johnson in motion near side. Ben deep near side in the end zone. Back to Claypool. He falls down in the end zone. A no penalty flag. Probably good no call. Incomplete. 4th down. And here comes Chris Wizard of Boswell for a Steeler field goal from about 40, 41 yards out. Yeah, that's a good no call. He tripped and fell. That's on Claypool. He's not playing good here early. Ran the wrong route. It's an interception. That's 3 points because they turned it over. At least they forced the kick, and now Boswell on for a field goal. They have to settle for 3, and the kick from 40 yards barely sneaks through. Looked like it was going to hook wide left, and right the last possible second with the win in through the uprights. Good from 40 yards out. Pittsburgh trails by 7, 10-3 with 2 play in the opening quarter. So, that drive, of course, was better than the opening drive because they didn't turn the damn ball over by any means. But they still can't punch it in. They got to score touchdowns, especially on the road, and you can't turn it over either and, expect to win at that rate. Until they find a running game and they don't do anything stupid, continuing to make stops on defense. Once again, relying on this defense way too damn much, but they're getting stops, so credit to them. Playing their hearts out, busting their ass. Still going to come down to the wire, I think. It'll be a good game. They're just going to have to get some stops. Like I said, they can't. That's 2 for 2 for the Bengals on drives to begin the game, and 10-0 before Pittsburgh just, got on board with 3 there. Can't allow drive after drive to go for points. Eventually, you got to crack. You got to settle in and settle the hell down, and get after Burrow. Make a few mistakes. Bring pressure. Good thing Minka's back in the back end, but also T.J. Watt up front. But somebody else still has to step up on defense. We'll see who it is. Hopefully somebody does, and we'll see who it is. But offensively, they still got a fun running game with Harris. It's just absolutely pathetic that they do not have a running game here, and we're almost into December with, another month and a half ball to be played before the playoffs begin. Because, hell, 11-0, they got to 11-0 start last year with no running game, but somehow, some way they got to 11-0 start. But then because of no running game, they lost 5-6. They're 5-4-1, but they still don't have a running game here in 2021 either. They're going to have to find one if they want to win in the playoffs. I'll get there first and then win in the playoffs. But you also got to get Harris involved in the screen game out of the backfield. It seemed to me, okay, there's a play there on that on the drive, whether it's 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, I can't recall. Ben, he had two men, and he looked like he was throwing to both Harris and Zach Gentry, and then it fell incomplete and almost was picked off again. So it's just as small little things. It's, playing smart. It's just the decision making. Do this rather than that. And down by 7, 10-3, 2:17 to play in the opening quarter. Just find some rhythm, find some momentum, build yourself back up, get back in this game. Still a whole lot of football to be played, and it's not over until it's over. I mean, Pittsburgh's gone to overtime a few times. They're 1-0-1 in those, with the tie, of course, 2 weeks back against the Lions, but can't turn it over. Cannot turn the ball over. Got to run and stop the run as well today if they want to win. If not, they'll fall to 500 at 5-5-1 before a tough December and January. And if they don't get rolling, they might be SOL here before too long. But now 1st and 10. That's a 6-yard run by Joe Mixon up the middle. 2nd down and 4 here. 2 to play in the opening quarter. 10-3 for Cincinnati and Bengals on top of Steelers. Also right now, as mentioned, 10-3 Cincinnati. Still 3-0 Indy on top of Brady and the Bucks. Panthers, Dolphins tied at 7. Pats lead the Titans 7-zip. And then the other game I have on with NFL Red Zone then as well. So 2 games, and then whatever the hell they're showing, back and forth with everything. Giants 3-zip over the Eagles in another rivalry game in the NFL. So 2 historic rivalry matchups, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, and Philadelphia and New York. That went for a 1st down, 1st and 10 Bengals. But yeah, Big Blue on top of flag was fly, 3-zip. Still early, a lot of these games. Late 1st, early 2nd quarters. Half hour, 45 minutes into the 1 o'clock window here. But then Atlanta leads at Jacksonville by 7, and then the Jets lead the Texans by 3, and probably the worst game of the afternoon. And what will go down as an absolute shit show. 3-zip New York as Jets lead the Houston Texans. Another 1st down the middle. Joe Burrow to T. Higgins. And 1st and 10 Cincinnati. But still to come, LA and Denver, LA and Green Bay, Minnesota and San Fran, Cleveland and Baltimore, along with Seattle and Washington tomorrow night, Chicago, Vegas, and Buffalo. All 3 road teams, won at Detroit, Dallas, and New Orleans, respectively, on Thanksgiving. But here, Sunday after Thanksgiving, 1st and 10 from the 48. Burrow complete to Tyler Boyd. Nice tackle by number 35 and Arthur Millette. And that'll be the final play of the opening quarter. As the final 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds tick off. At the end of 1, the Bengals lead the Steelers 10-3. Ben Roethlisberger on that last drive. Now 4 of 8 for 63 yards passing. Does have the interception, but Big Ben, number 7, just passed former colleague of his from the 2004 NFL draft class in Phillip Rivers for 5th place all-time in career pass completions in NFL history. So congratulations to Ben Roethlisberger. Ben has played 2 years longer than Eli Manning, who was also drafted in that draft, and 1 year further than Rivers, who retired after last year. But Eli played with his 2 Super Bowl wins, all with the New York Giants. Rivers, of course, all with the Chargers in San Diego and LA before Indy last year. And then Ben in his 18th season in the black and gold with 2 Super Bowls. Should have 3, but 2 Super Bowls later as well. 4 of 8, 63 yards passing, interception today. Burrow, 5 of 5, 38 yards passing. Has a rushing touchdown from 8 yards out. That's the difference right now because it's a field goal game then at 3-3. But, yeah, you look at the run game. Najee Harris still 1 carry, 3 yards. Has 1 catch for nothing either. Benny Snell 1 for 1. Burrow, 1 carry, 8 yards in the score, which is the difference once again. But Joe Mixon, 10 carries, 58 yards rushing. Deontay Johnson, along with Chase Claypool, been 4 of 8, but Harris's catch went nowhere. Claypool has that one big catch down the near sideline, 1 for 41, but that was after he ran the wrong route, it seemed like, on the opening drive, which led to the interception. Another 3 points for the Bengals. So they go back to it, and they hit, but then they have to settle for 3. So, yeah, Claypool, 1 for 41. Deontay Johnson, 2 catches, 22 yards as well. And then Cincinnati, T. Higgins leads the way, receiving 1 catch, 16 yards. Tyler Boyd, 2 for 13. And then Mixon and Evans, 2 catches, 10 total yards on the backfield. So, what I say, run the damn football, get the running backs involved in the screening game as well. Run, open play action, play good defense, run your special teams. You're going to win. Cincinnati's doing all that right now. Pittsburgh, they're like playing in the year, well, we'll say 31 years ago, the last time the Bengals won 3 straight against these Pittsburgh Steelers. 2nd down and 6 officially from the 45. And Burrow going to fake it, bubble screen to Jamar Chase out of the backfield, and he's going to get another Bengal first down into Steeler territory. 1st and 10. Just this defense now can't get off the damn field. Come on, man. What the hell?
So much was made about his big plays over the top, right? A lot of 50-yard catches, a lot of big plays down the field, and hasn't been as much of those the last couple.
So 1st and 10 officially from the 32. 3 wide. Burrow deep near side in the end zone, up for T. Higgins, and he comes down with it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. And they'll extend their lead to 13, pending the upcoming extra point, 16-3. Here, not even a minute into the opening or second quarter, here before halftime. Just a simple go route on a jump ball, and 42, James Pierre, decent covers, but he falls down. And then T. Higgins goes up and gets it, and Joe Burrow, the Tiger King, slaying the Steeler defense right now. Has a rushing and now a passing touchdown, which is the difference. Or else we'd be tied at 3, but it's 17-3. Early second quarter, 17-3. Cincy on top of Pittsburgh. Not a good start by any means whatsoever. Couldn't have asked for a worse start for Pittsburgh today, no. Just absolutely pathetic. But at the same time, this is how it was last Sunday night. You know, at least, okay, they haven't been in a situation yet, because if they were, I'd like to see what they do this week, but, you know, they drove and kicked a field goal to go up 3-0 early last week against Chargers. And then they allowed them to drive and score a touchdown. Pittsburgh drove again, should have kicked it, went for it, didn't get it, and then the Chargers drove again, scored again to go up 14-3. Pittsburgh sort of in the same hole right now, okay? It was 17-10 at halftime last week, so if they can get back and cut it, you know, whether it be 17-10 again, 17-6, maybe, you know, a little closer than that, maybe even tie it up at 17 if they can get that chance. Still a lot of time here before halftime, no doubt about it. Timeouts and 2-minute warning as well. But just keep chipping away at it. Don't change your game plan just yet. It's just they put themselves in this situation, shoot themselves in the foot. Turnovers, no running game, can't stop the run again. Just giving up too much on defense. And then when the game's on the line late, okay, because they did come back last week, but then they finally lost it then. Because they lost it, I don't know how many times last Sunday night, but time's not on their side then. You know, it's a little too late. They got to, if they're going to put themselves in a situation time after time, find a way to get back in it just a little bit sooner than what they have. And hopefully in their favor, it'll work out. Until then, you know, they're just going to be, for the most part, treading water, but barely, and 6 feet under. And it sucks to say that, but it's the truth. Like, they just, I don't know what it is. I have no idea what the hell it is. They just haven't started fast, hardly at all season. There's been a few games in which they have, but, you know, typical Pittsburgh Steelers football for you. Slow start. Find a way to get back into it, you know, midway through the second quarter, right before halftime. Take an early second half lead, maybe. Hold on to win, or you're coming back from the start. So, got to score here on this drive. Whether it's a field goal or touchdown, got to get some points. Because Cincinnati's made it look easy with a 17-3 lead right now. And arguably what should be a 21-3 lead, because they should have scored a touchdown on that pick six, but brought down to 5, and then they had to settle for 3 because the Steelers defense held. First and goal from the 5. The sack, which was big. Yeah, they should have scored then too. So they've just put themselves in a hole, and they can't find a way out. Until they do, this is where we're going to be at. So there's not much else to be said, but they just got to just find some rhythm. Find a running game that's going to start up front. Open up the pass end. Run to pass, pass to run. Play good defense. Defense has played good all year, but they're just, of course, been a few times early on and late. They give up the big plays, and it costs them for the most part. So 2 yards, 3rd and 6. At least they're trying to establish a running game on this drive, but they should have tried to establish a running game on the previous 2 drives. Now down by 14, but 3rd and 6, 17-3. Just very frustrating. Very frustrating is all it is. So 3rd and 6, Ben in the gun from the 28. Getting pressure. It's going to dump it off to Pat Fryermuth, the rookie out of Penn State. And he's going to get a first down on an 8-yard reception. Move the sticks, 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. If they can capitalize and convert on 3rd down, and that's the spark they're going to need to continue to move the football downfield, you know, keep it simple. Run the ball, short, quick passes, take your deep shots every once in a while, but just move the sticks and move the ball downfield, and eventually hit pay dirt for 6. Like, it's not that hard. 1st and 10 from the 36. They get the first down on a big 3rd down there. Drive still alive here. Got to score some points on this drive, though. Got to score. Ben going to fake the give to Harris. Flag. This might be coming back. Over the middle, complete to Claypool. Out past around midfield, I should say. 46-yard line. 1st and 10 now. But we'll see what dirty laundry is from the Zebras. No foul. They pick it up. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. Move it. 2nd down. How the hell is he short? That's a 1st down. That's forward progress. Yeah, he made a move, but that's still forward progress. That's a 1st and 10. How the hell is that 2nd and short? First and 10, thank you. These refs don't know their ass from a hole in the fucking ground. Jesus Christ. 1st and 10 from the 47. Claypool motion, fake the end around. They're going to hand off. And Benny Snell out past midfield now for 4 yards. Second down and 6 from the 49. Now, of course, the previous play was second down, as they originally said, which it wasn't, which we knew it wasn't. It was 1st and 10. That would have been 1st and 10 now, but 2nd and 6 because it was just 1st down. And they're going to keep going. 2nd and 6, get 7. That 3rd down and 6, they got 8. 1st down. 1st and 10, they got 11. Just get what you need. Move the sticks, work the sticks, and keep it simple. Claypool motion again. A lot of fucking motion with him. Maybe a false start. They're going to go deep far side, and a little too much overthrown, intended for 18, Deontay Johnson in double coverage. Incomplete 3rd down. 3rd and 6, 10:57 to play in the first half. Tampa knocking on the door. 3rd and 1, handoff to Fournette. That's a 1st and goal. Looking to take a lead at Indy. The Colts are wearing their throwbacks. Brady on a quarterback sneak from the 2-yard line. Penalty flag comes a flying, maybe a targeting. He doesn't get in, so it'll be 2nd and goal. And then the Eagles punt. They trail New York by 3 still. 3-zip. Giants actually missed another field goal, so could be up 6. Ben, 3rd and 6. What a catch by Anthony Miller, the former Memphis Tiger, who was drafted out of West Tennessee up to Chi-Town. And Pittsburgh claimed him off waivers earlier this year, his first regular season action this year in the black and gold uni. First time he's been active all year. Been on the practice squad since they signed him. Of course, Ray McLeod out on COVID. Here comes Presley Harvin with his blue suede shoes on to punt. Fair catch to the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 Bengals from there. 17-3 lead, 10:18 to play in this first half. Got a little bit of a scuffle at midfield. All right, they'll take a TV timeout break here. 17-3 when we return. 1st and 10 Bengals from the 15-yard line after the Steeler punt. So, of course, Pittsburgh as well has battled injuries, as have everyone else this year as well. It's just that time of year. Everybody's banged up. It's just a matter of fact of how hurt you really are. And if you can still play or not. Now, if you're on the COVID list, well, there's nothing really you can do about that because everybody's still scared shitless about the flu that's going around once again right now. Because, people, it seems to me, sort of finally come to their senses that, really, the past year and a half, anytime anybody's been sick, oh, you have COVID. Bullshit. No. Now the flu's back, yet all COVID is damn flu anyway, but I'll digress there because I don't want to make it political, which it turned into be this time last year. But yeah, there's that. No, banged up. And of course, Roethlisberger missed the Lions game. And as mentioned then, I feel they just sat him out with as many nagging injuries he's had as of late. Because if not then against Detroit, then when. No offense to the Lions, they're a damn good team. They probably should have about 4 or 5 wins right now, to be honest with you, but they're still winless at 0-10-1. They lost again on a game-winning field goal at home on Thanksgiving against the Bears. We'll see what happens, the rest of the year with everyone involved in the playoff hunt. Pittsburgh's right on the outside looking in right now, and that's why I said earlier this is a must-win. They've already lost to the Bengals. They can't afford to, go 0-2 to them this year. Got to split. They've already beat Cleveland once. Play Baltimore next week, and then 2 more divisional matchups early January. Of course, at Cincy right now, home away the rest of the year with Baltimore, Minnesota, Tennessee, Kansas City, Cleveland, and Baltimore before the playoffs. But, Roethlisberger missed the game. Rudolph started 2 weeks back. They couldn't find a way to win every time against the Lions. Harris, no running game. I mean, he's played, but, at least they're finally starting to work some of these other running backs into it. Juju's been done for the year. Deontay Johnson emerges number 1. But Claypool's missed a few games. James Washington the same. I mean, Ray McLeod out today as well. I mean, even when they're in there, at least they're catching the ball this year, unlike last year. Freiermuth has emerged as the number 1 tight end, but Ebron's still playing some damn good football. The offensive line all starts up front. You got to be able to block the run, open for pass, play good defense. Bubble screen complete to Jamar Chase, and he's going to get 11 yards on 1st and 10. Since he's working the sticks and they're moving the ball, and no wonder they have a 14-point lead right now, 17-3, 10 minutes to play in half. But, the offensive line all shuffled up, and with a few rookies up front too, it's like, well, what more can you ask for at that rate? It's sort of expected, but at the same time, you're in the NFL, so no. And then defensively, okay, few injuries as well. They get a few back today, so just got to play better, play smarter, make some stops, and maybe a few more better play calls. Got an update on Fox with Philadelphia and New York. It is the Tampa Bay touchdown. The Bucs up 7-3 at the Colts. As Tennessee, New England, Tampa Bay, Indianapolis, and Pittsburgh, Cincinnati right now are the 3 best games in that order on. We'll have the Rams and Packers coming up at 4:30 as well. 2nd and 6 from the 31. Burrow going to get out on the sack. The 2nd sack of the afternoon on a gang tackle led by number 97, Cameron Hayward. 56, Alex Highsmith. TJ Watt was in on that as well. 3rd down and long for the Cincinnati Bengals. Devin Bush also on the stop. He needs to play 10 times better. But, he's still reliable. I get he's coming off an injury, but so is Joe Burrow. And he's the difference right now. They both blew their knees out last year, torn ACLs. But Burrow with 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 passing, since he leads by 14. Do the math. He doesn't play, or he doesn't have those. We're tied at 3 here, 8 minutes and 14 seconds to play in this first half. And another completion near side to T. Higgins. A 16-yard completion and a 1st and 10. Cincinnati Bengals. Just one big play, and then they give up another. And Watt off the edge, a little slow, holding his left leg there, it seemed like. Wonder how healthy he really is. I mean, like I said last week, yeah, they need everyone back ASAP. And they got 2 of the 3 back today. But another handoff, Mixon, Schobert on the tackle. Be 2nd down and 4. And now we're going to have another update, and it'll be the same one we just saw on Fox that I saw on Red Zone with the Buccaneers' 1-yard rushing touchdown from Leonard Fournette. Tampa Bay up 7-3 at Indianapolis. Second and 5 officially. And a deep ball near side, incomplete. 3rd down. Got some breaking news in college football as well. As rumored to be the past few days, after Florida a week ago fired Dan Mullen, they will now hire Louisiana Lafayette head coach in Billy Napier to replace Mullen. Florida really, I mean, they've had success, but they really haven't had as much success as they once had with Urban Meyer, with, of course, 2 national championships in 3 years. And now Meyer, after his Ohio State stint, year off, now in the NFL with the Jags. They trail the Falcons by 7. But Florida, after Urban Meyer. They've now went through 3 head coaches. Maybe 4th time's the charm. You know, Georgia's running the SEC East right now. They're in the conference championship game next week. If they win, they're in. If they lose, both Bama and Georgia are going to be in the playoff. 1st and 10, Mixon for 9 yards. And a 2nd and 1, another tackle by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And another update. What do we got here? Back to Tampa and Indy. Colts strike on a Carson Wentz passing touchdown from 62 yards to Doolin. So back and forth. Back and forth now, 10-7. Colts on top of the Bucks. But 2nd and 1, Cincy from the 38. Burrow going to hand off. Joe Mixon again. And another 1st down and 10 of the 30. Mixon now, as he nears 100 rushing yards, has 14 carries for 85 yards rushing. We're going to actually make that 15 carries, I do believe, now with that last run. For, if I can do math, because this is not updating on my end. Another draw to Mixon, so another 9-yard run. So he had to have just passed 100 on that, because it was 14 for 85, another 18. Gets him past 100. Knocking on the door right on the outside of the red zone. Be 2nd and 1 again after another 9-yard run. We'll update stats and scores at halftime, so stay tuned. But 2nd and 1. Okay, Mixon officially 15 carries for 94 yards rushing. So he must have had about 10 yards less than I originally thought from what I was seeing on my end with the 14 for 85 that he had. So another 18, well, yeah, that gets him the cusp of 100 for the first half. Not the game, and we're not even at the 2-minute warning yet, the first half. Pittsburgh, no running game, and can't stop Joe Mixon. Cannot stop this Bengal rushing attack. 3rd and 1 after no gain on the play. And a toss near side. Nice block by the fullback. And this might be coming back for a hold. That was 87, actually, the tight end, C.J. Uzama on the block, lining up a fullback. And, yeah, we're going to have a personal foul, chop block on the defense. What? Half the distance, automatic 1st down. Let me see a replay of that. Who was that on? Did they say a number? They say 42, James Pierre, I guess. They say chop block. Okay, maybe a little bit. I mean, it didn't do much because you got to tackle him. You can't tackle a fucking lineman who doesn't have the football and expect to make a stop. You got to tackle the guy with the football who was the running back who got the 1st down, and then you tackle on the personal foul, now 1st and goal. Yeah, simple toss near side, and Mixon now setting up the Bengals from the 7-yard line. Another toss far side. That's a block in the back, and then he gets in the end zone for 6. Touchdown Cincinnati again. Now up 23-3 on the Pittsburgh Steelers as we near the 2-minute warning in this first half. Jesus Christ. What the hell are you doing? Now with no running game, Ben's going to have to do it all if you want to get back in this game. Just continue to dig yourselves a hole. Yeah. Throw more dirt behind your back, why don't you, while you're at it. And then, you know, once you think it's deep enough, climb in and pull the damn trigger. Jesus Christ. He might be down the half-yard line, but touchdown on the field. All scoring plays are reviewed. They'll have to find undisputed video evidence to overturn it. We'll see if it'll stand or not. I think it will, because that's as close can get. Forearms down right there at the half-yard line. The ball, I mean, can we get a short? Okay, they were actually looking at it already. I was going to say, if they can flip the camera, get a different angle on the view straight at the goal line, see if the ball was right there when he was down, and it wasn't. And they say short. Now, second goal from half-yard line. So touchdown off the board, but they'll probably still give up some points here. Probably another touchdown on this upcoming play or the next. So second goal from the half-yard line for the Bengals, up 17-3.
Right now, he's at 107 yards on the ground. That is his third 100-yard rushing game of the season. They should give it right back to him here.
Second goal from the half-yard line out of the gun, and Mixon's going to walk in, touchdown, Cincinnati. Yeah, he was in that time for sure. He was in last time, too, I thought. But they say he was down. And of course, have to run another play, but they still punched it in. And now 2 rushing touchdowns for the Bengals here this afternoon. One from 8 yards out by Joe Burrow to go up 7. And then the field goal off of the turnover. Pittsburgh cut it to 7 at 10-3 then. But then since then, Burrow's found T. Higgins for 6. And then Mixon from a yard out on their score, 23-3. 2:43 to play in this first half. Extra point up and good. Make it 24-3. Cincinnati on top of Pittsburgh. Just absolutely pathetic. Just, I don't know what to say. I don't. This is worse than last week to start off. At least they were showing, some sign of life at this point in time before halftime last week. They got to get a spark. They got to find a running game, and they got to stop the run. Mixon now officially over 100 yards rushing, okay? Has 19 carries for 109 yards rushing and a touchdown. Also in the backfield, has 1 catch for 5 yards. Burrow's 10 of 11, 117 yards passing, a touchdown out to T. Higgins, who has 3 catches, 64 yards in the score. Mixon 19 for $109 on the ground and a touchdown. Mixon also a catch for 5 yards. Chris Evans has a catch for 5 yards, also out of the backfield in the screen game. Burrow, 1 carry, 8 yards and a touchdown. And then Jamar Chase, 2 catches, 23 yards receiving. Tyler Boyd, 2 catches, 13 yards receiving. C.J. Uzomah, 1 for 7. Mixon and Evans, 2 for 10 total there. And then Roethlisberger, Steeler offense, going to get the football back here down by 3 scores. And what really could be 3.5 scores at 25 right now, give or take, if you think about it, because that interception, and then they get the big sack, force a field goal. It first a goal from the 5, and probably should have scored. So that's, 3 touchdowns. Make it 4 touchdowns rather than the field goal. And should be up 28-3 right now, not 24-3. But just they're playing catch up, and they can move the ball, but they can't. They have no running game, and it starts there until they start running 22, and until Roethlisberger doesn't have to do it all by himself, and the defense gets the hell off the field and makes some stops. This is how it's going to be once again. They're stuck in motion, and they don't know what the hell to do. it's sad. It's very I don't know what you want to say there. It sucks. It's just pathetic. It's awful. This is very bad Pittsburgh Steelers football right now. Very bad. Like, Cincinnati is making this look easy. It's like a NFL team playing a Pee Wee team right now. 1st and 10, handoff, Najee Harris, spin move, 5 yards to the 30. Okay, 2nd and 5. But Roethlisberger 7 of 12 for 83 yards passing. The interception led to 3 points. So keep that in mind. Turnovers at the start. That's why they lost to Cincinnati week 3. Najee Harris, 4 carries, 12 yards, make it 5 for 17. And then Claypool, 2 for 52. Deontay Johnson, 2 for 22. Freiermuth, a catch for 7 yards. And then Anthony Miller has a catch for 2 yards. But they'll hand off again to Najee Harris. And 22 on 2nd and 5, gets 3.5, maybe 4 if he's lucky enough. 3rd and short. They can't move the football. They can't take any time off this damn clock either, it seems like. But in the meantime, with the 2-minute warning. With 2 minutes to play, the Bengals lead the Steelers 24-3.
Not a fan, just your typical sneakerhead working here for the employee discount. But speaking of deals, our regular guys like me are getting a Patrick price. That can't be real, right?
Listen, State Farm offers rates that fit any budget, even yours, typical sneakerhead.
Wow, just anyone now?
Yeah.
Man, these just sold out then.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
It starts with a mother's determination to treat her baby.
New college football AP poll just released within the past few minutes as well. Of course, with the news of Florida going to hire Billy Napier. I was thinking last night, of course, if the rumors were true that, okay, he'll go to Florida, which he now officially does. So they have their new head man. But, Florida went through Will Muschamp, Jim McElwain, and now Dan Mullen following Urban Meyer. And after Spurrier, head ball coach himself, who went to the NFL and did not succeed, Ron Zook came in, run out of town. Urban wins them a few natties, but they haven't been the same since. At this rate, if Billy Napier doesn't work out, I'm going to say this now, the day he gets hired at the end of 2021, you might as well call up Tim Tebow or something, because Florida football is just going to be in a state of flux for a little while until they can get moving. But last year, they just had a down year this year. A lot of teams did. But I was thinking last night that, of course, because Billy Napier coaching at Louisiana Lafayette, that maybe a bidding war between LSU and Florida for him. Florida gets Napier. He'll jump from the non-Power 5 to the SEC. Former Dabo Swinney and Nick Saban assistant. So we'll see how his Florida tenure will be over the next few years. Really, if you don't win in 3, maybe 4 years, you're out. That's how it is anymore. And I wonder if he'll coach in the conference championship game for them this week, Louisiana Lafayette and App State from the Sun Belt. But 3rd and 1, Ben slant over the middle, dropped by Claypool. Jesus Christ. That ball was bobbled. I don't know how many times. You got to catch it. Catch it and then run. Don't think you have it and then keep running and then drop it. Claypool's not playing well this year. He's not. Bobbled it like 10 times and it fell incomplete. 4th and 1. Now the Bengals, out of 2-minute warning, going to have 3 timeouts to try to drive and score. Already up 24-3. And then Pittsburgh will, in fact, get the ball to begin in the second half as they kicked off. But same time, they're in a hole. And they cannot move the football to save their goddamn lives. So I don't know what makes anybody think they're going to start moving the football here the rest of this game. I just hope CBS, which I doubt they will, because of course for myself, being in the market, they won't switch Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. But hey, you never know. If it gets worse, then, well, we'll see. But, yeah, just, you gotta catch the damn ball. 3rd and 1, easy slant, you're wide open, you can't catch it. You bob it like a million times, and it falls incomplete, and you got to punt. At least Presley Harvin's got a big leg and can boom it. Hell, Georgia Tech's probably wishing they still had him. They got shut out by the Dogs yesterday, 45-0. But, you know, just very frustrating right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers with how they've played. Really all season, but, you know, once again, for the most part, just here as of late, past few weeks. I mean, 1-3, you win 4 in a row, but once again, like I said earlier, the largest margin of victory was 8 against Denver back mid-October. 2 overtime games, they win 1, tie the other. The losses. Largest defeat was 14 on the hands of these Bengals. And now how they trail by 21 here with 1:55 to play in the first half. Maybe they get a stop, which I doubt they will before halftime. Okay. But get a stop. Get the ball back maybe. Do something before halftime. Just chip away at it. You know, cut your lead. And then, or cut your deficit, the Bengal lead, I should say. Make stop early 3rd quarter. Get right back in it. You know, still a whole lot of football to be played. Game's not over yet. Game's not over until the 0-0's on the clock. So, you know, until then, you know, never say never, but never for Mike Tomlin also to go to USC. They'll, along with LSU right now, be in a tough situation with finding their next head coach. I feel Matt Campbell's going to USC. We'll see who LSU hires. Ed Orgeron will not coach in the bowl game after LSU's upset win at home from Death Valley last night against Texas A&M. Go Tigers. But, yeah. LSU, when they had Joe Burrow, they won the national championship. They get Jamar Chase back. They've connected on a few passes today. Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon. Cup of Joes down the field, single-handedly defeating the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. 24-3. Pass down the middle, complete. 1st and 10, Cincinnati. And Cincinnati's 2-minute offense, 12 weeks in, have the 4th most points in 40 under 2 minutes to play in halves. In the first half and to close out the game. Pass complete near side. T. Higgins on their 1st down. They're right on the outside field goal range now. Haven't even had the ball a minute. And 2 big plays, knocking on the door. So we'll get to the AP poll here in a minute, but it really doesn't matter because the College Football Playoff poll comes out Tuesday night, and then Selection Sunday a week from now. As this time next week, we'll know who's playing each other in the College Football Playoff semis, the Cotton and Orange Bowl, respectively. Winners to meet in the national championship game Monday, January the 10th in Indy. As right now in Indianapolis, the Colts are leading the Buccaneers 17-7. But once again, I'll digress about college football. We'll discuss more later. But Georgia, of course, still number 1. Michigan's 2 now after the win against Ohio State. Cincinnati 3, Alabama 4, and then Oklahoma State's 5. So there's your top 5. But AP poll doesn't matter anymore anyway, so we won't even go there now. But just keep an eye out for, of course, more videos right here on the channel this week. A college football coaching carousel. Next week, a college football bowl game for bowl season preview as well, along with more live watch along actions live here on YouTube, college football, the NFL, and professional wrestling. All you have to do is hit that red subscribe button. Easiest way to stay up to date is, in fact, on social media. Links in the description below. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. First down run up the middle by Joe Mixon. They call their first time out with 1:02 to play in this first half. Cincy up 24-3 on the Steelers. And for the most part, yeah, they're probably going to score another touchdown here before the half, if I'd have to guess. They're in field goal range as it is. Call their first time out. They still have 2 with 1:02 to play and a 21-point lead. And they've made it look easy. They should have 4 touchdowns. They have 3 and a field goal, but they should have 4 touchdowns and up 25. But they're up 21. But that's still a 21-point lead. And the Steelers are just in the biggest hole they've been in to this point all season long. Just very frustrating for Pittsburgh with no running game, the turnover, can't make stops on defense right now. I mean, they just need a spark. They need to make stops, plain and simple. So 1st and 10 officially from the 27. Burrow going to dump it off. Nice pass and a completion to Mixon, but he's going to get out of bounds. No gain on the play. Clock's going to stop. 56 seconds. The second down. How did he lose a yard? He got back to the line of scrimmage. There's no gain on the play. But they say he lost the yard. All right, I'll take it. It's 1 yard. 2nd and 10. But still from the 27 as it just was. So no loss. No gain, though. 2nd and 10. Burrow, pass, far side. Nice catch by Boyd. The 12. And, yeah, the Tiger Kings picking this Steeler defense apart. Got a penalty flag. What do we got here? But it was, yeah, complete to Tyler Boyd. 1st and 10 Bengals at the 12. So another 8 shots to punch it in with 2 timeouts and 56 seconds to play. Cincy up 24-3 on Pittsburgh. Come on, Stripes. What's the call? Pass interference on the offense with a push-off. 10 yards, replay, 2nd down. It'll be 2nd and 20. 2nd and 20 officially. I don't know. I mean, they called it. I'll take it. I haven't seen no penalty. But, yeah, if I'm Cincy there, I don't like that call. But I'm not rooting for the Bengals. I'm rooting for the Steelers as always. So, yeah, 2nd and 20. They'll replay the down. Ball back at the 37 now. And Burrow going to go deep. And it's going to be picked off by Minkah Fitzpatrick at the 5-yard line in his return from the COVID list last week. And he's on the return out past the 20, the 22. All right, Pittsburgh's going to have 3 timeouts. Now we got a little bit of a scuffle with TJ Watt and Joe Burrow pushing each other down to the ground. No penalties. And Minkah gets his first interception since this time last year. Hit from Loudermilk on Burrow. Minkah with the pick. Stays in bounds. Return of 17 yards of 22. No penalties. And then Burrow and Watt were going at it. Hell, we had a scuffle earlier at midfield. They're just pushing and shoving each other. And then TJ Watt takes him down. Takes him down by the neck. So, yeah, LSU, why don't you play that with who you're going to hire as your next head coach as well. Maybe keep Ed Orgeron. Hell, you need Joe Burrow to return and play quarterback for you is what you need. No offense to Brad Johnson and his kid by any means, but Zebras are huddling up on the return. Okay, they were just blocking. TJ Watt was blocking Burrow. I'm sure somebody said something, and then they just kept pushing and shoving each other, kept holding on to one another, and they go down. No penalty as of yet, but all right, Pittsburgh's going to have 3 timeouts, a 1st and 10 from the 22, and 37 seconds to do something to cut this lead before halftime, and then also get the ball to begin the second half. And then you'll have to do something there, get a few stops in the second half as well. Get back in this game. You're down by 21 right now, but it's not over. It is 24-3, but there's still a whole hell of a lot of football to be played, no doubt about it. Halftime with the Eagles and Giants. Got some highlights now on Fox, but we'll get halftime here in a second with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, and Ben with another interception one play later, and he throws a pick six, and Cincinnati returns it 22 yards for a touchdown, and now they lead by 27, about to make it 28, when it probably should be 35, 30-3 with 30 seconds to play in this first half, and this fucking game's over. It's not even halftime. Jesus fucking Christ. Ben's second pick of the game. First one was almost returned for a touchdown as well, and then they did capitalize off of the field goal. First goal from the 5, but big sack. That's up for 3. Second time's a charm. They do return it for 6, and just, what the fuck? Just, at this rate, don't even come out in the second half. Extra points up and good. 31-3 Bengals on top of the Steelers with 30 seconds to play. Cincinnati's showing out. Pittsburgh can't stop them. Bengals making this game look easy. This is absolutely pathetic. Take a split screen commercial. Just pathetic. You know, when it was 17-3, okay. There's still a chance. I mean, hell, there's still a chance there. 24-3. You can't turn the damn ball over. What I say at the start, turnovers. Turnovers killed them when they played Cincy week 3, and they lost by 14 because of 2 turnovers that led to 2 touchdowns, and they missed a field goal, or else they would have won. They lost, though, and they're going to lose today. They're losing, getting their ass kicked on the road, 31-3. And it seems to me the Bengals, once the Steelers come back and win this, yeah, no doubt about it, they're going to beat the Steelers 3 times in a row for the first time in 31 years. And they lead by 28, 31-3 with 30 seconds to play in this first half. Just absolutely pathetic. How the hell can you let this happen? McFarland on the kickoff return. And to make matters worse, the ball was intercepted by a former Steeler, now Bengal, and Mike Hilton, in return for a touchdown on Roethlisberger. And the Bengals now lead 31-3. You know, like I said, okay, 17-3, 24-3, chance to come back because you were in the same hole you were last Sunday night. Now it's 31-3. 26 seconds, still 3 timeouts. First and 10 from 30, empty set 5 wide. You'll get the ball to begin the second half as well. Ben complete to Najee and dropped, near side. Incomplete, second and 10. As we near halftime, coming up half, we'll update stats and scores, so stay tuned. But, yeah, just... this has to be, arguably, in the first half, and probably for the entire game as well, once it's said and done, one of the worst Steeler performances in quite some time. Like, they have no sign of life right now. None. Roethlisberger, in the meantime, going to go down on the sack. It'll be 3rd and long, 15 seconds and counting. We might go to halftime, pending a timeout. Under 10, and we're going to go to halftime with the Bengals on top of the Steelers. 31-3. Turnovers, what I tell you, led to 10 points. I mean, still at that rate, you're still down 21-3. A very dominant first half. by the Bengals. And yeah, well, who won that game back in 09 between the Bears and Bengals? They led 31-3 12 years ago, but the Saints really lead by now against the Steelers. Because if the Bears came back and won that game, okay, well, at least there's a good sign because history repeats itself for the Pittsburgh Steelers to come back and win this. Okay. 2009 Cincinnati Bengals football team. The 09 season, of course, was the year after Super Bowl 43 for Pittsburgh. Saints ended up beating the Colts in Super Bowl 44. No, they won. The Bengals beat the Bears 45-10. Yeah, so Pittsburgh's done for just off of that. They're done for just how the game's fucking gone. But just a piss poor, pathetic performance. I don't know how many P's that is, but way too many fucking turnovers. You can't turn the ball over and expect to win. You can't turn the ball over, no running game, and expect to win. You can't turn the ball over, no running game, and give up big plays on defense and expect to win. Plain and simple. I mean, Roethlisberger, 7 of 15 for 83 yards passing and 2 interceptions. Both were almost returned for touchdowns. The second one was. They capitalized with a total of 10 points off of them, though. 2 turnovers week 3 against Cincy led to 14 points, which was the difference. Of course, don't turn it over. At the field goal they missed, they win, but they lost. They lost the following week before a 4-game winning streak, tied 2 weeks back. Lost, I don't know how many times last Sunday night. Led, should have won, and then still lost. It starts up front. Roethlisberger's been sacked now a few times, as has Burrow. So both defenses playing well. And credit to Cincinnati on D. I mean, 2 interceptions off of Roethlisberger, future Hall of Famer. Stopping the run game, but Pittsburgh hasn't had a running game all season. Najee Harris at halftime here today. Bengals lead the Steelers 31-3. 5 carries, 16 yards rushing. Benny Snell, 2 carries, 5 yards rushing. And nothing for the backs out of the backfield in the receiving game. Claypool's not playing good. Ran the wrong route on the first interception. A big 3rd and 1, dropped a simple slant, bobbled it a million times over the middle. Credit once again to the Bengals. They're capitalizing, and they have Pittsburgh right where they want them at, and pedal to the metal. They're not looking back until this game goes final. And then these two teams won't meet unless they meet in the playoffs this year, which at this rate, Pittsburgh is not making the playoffs because they're right now on the outside looking in. That's why I said earlier this game is a must-win, but earliest they'll meet, of course, twice then next year because they're division opponents in the AFC North. But yeah, Claypool, 2 catches, 52 yards receiving. Deontay Johnson, 2 for 22. He's been non-existent since the first quarter. They have not getting him the ball enough. Freiermuth, 1 for 7. Anthony Miller, 1 catch, 2 yards. Joe Burrow, the Tiger King himself, slaying the Steeler defense, has a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. Joe Burrow, 14 of 16 for 154 yards passing, a touchdown, and an interception there. But that interception didn't help the Steelers by any means, even on a 17-yard return by Minkah Fitzpatrick, because a play later, Roethlisberger threw the pick 6, and now we stand at 31-3 at halftime. Highlights on both Fox and now CBS as we was at halftime with the Eagles and Giants, and of course now Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. We'll update some stats and scores around the league here in a second, but once again, thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media, links in the description below. But yeah, Burrow, 14 of 16, 154 in the air, a touchdown and a pick. Mixon, as Burrow has a carry for 8 yards and a score as well, to go up 7-0. Capitalize with a field goal of the first interception. Pittsburgh cut it 10-3, but then since he scored 21 and answered ever since. Pittsburgh, no running game. They can't stop Mixon either. They can't stop the Cincinnati rushing attack. 20 carries for 117 yards rushing and a touchdown. And then T. Higgins, has 5 catches for 95 yards receiving and a score. Jamar Chase, 2 for 23. Tyler Boyd, 2 for 13. TJ Uzama, 2 for 13 as well. Mixon, 2 catches, 5 yards out of the backfield. Chris Evans, 1 catch for 5 yards out of the backfield. And Pittsburgh, 31-3. I'm trying to remember the last time, because it's been a while, the last time the Steelers have had this big of a deficit, whether it be at the end of a quarter, halftime, to find a way to get back into it late, and whether they come back and win it or not, okay. But like I said, this arguably has to be one of the worst Steelers performances we've seen in years. Like, this is just absolutely fucking pathetic. They have no sign of life right now. Roethlisberger with 2 interceptions. They can't run the damn football. They can't make stops on defense. Can't get off the damn field. Penalties are about split. Time possession wise, look up some team stats now. Pittsburgh still just needs a spark, no doubt about it, but
then you can throw it to anybody you want. And I got to give Coyle a shout out. He did with this one. All systems are jump. We're talking Burrow and Mixon.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. What have I said? You find a running game, the rest of the offensive playbook's going to open itself up. And yeah, Cup of Joe for Joe Burrow, Cup of Joe for Joe Mixon. Hell, they might be putting backups in here before too long. Both teams, for that matter, if Pittsburgh gets down even more. But the difference is up front. I said this game was going to be won in the trenches. You don't believe me, go back and listen to it. The running game, 125-21, advantage Cincinnati. Along with passing, 136-74. Burrow with a few touchdowns. Roethlisberger with nothing to show for other than 2 interceptions, and it's cost them. But then they're still down 18, 21-3 if they don't turn the ball over. They still need to find a running game and make plays and make stops on defense, plain and simple. The penalties are about split, 3 for 15 and 2 for 15. And time possession, 10-minute advantage for the Bengals right now. So Pittsburgh cutting it to 7 at 10-3, but then ever since 21 unanswered. 31-3 your halftime score with the Bengals on top. Defense needs to get the hell off the field, make some stops. Offense has to get rolling, plain and simple. And until they do, they're stuck. Absolutely stuck. No other way of putting it. Just very frustrating. Very frustrating, no doubt about it. But NFL Week 12 will continue regardless of the outcomes of these games. We'll have Sunday Night Football later on tonight with the Cleveland Browns and Baltimore Ravens, and the other, as mentioned earlier, other AFC North battle here today. Pittsburgh will host Baltimore next Sunday. I'll have live watch-along reactions there, so be sure to tune in. That'll be a 4:25 kick on CBS. As for the most part, they're going to be on CBS the rest of the year. They'll be on Fox for a Thursday night kick at Minnesota, which is also going to be a tough game a few weeks before Christmas on December the 9th officially. 2 games from now. But I said it last week, because they do, going into the Charger game, they have the toughest remaining schedule in the National Football League. 5-3-1, now 5-4-1, about to be 5-5-1. Must win. They can't afford to lose any more damn games this year. You can't make the playoffs with 5 wins. Even in an expanded regular season, 18 weeks, 17 games. I mean, they're going to have to get to 8, 9, 10 wins to probably even sniff the playoffs at this rate because of how good the AFC is. You know, it's tight right now in the playoff standing as it is. Both AFC and NFC, for that matter. With Tennessee, Baltimore, Buffalo, and Kansas City as your division leaders. And then New England, Cincinnati, and the LA Chargers, with Pittsburgh right at that 8 spot. But then also Indy, Vegas, and Cleveland. And then the Broncos are still there, but I feel, Denver, Miami, Houston, Jacksonville, and the Jet season, they're done for already. But Pittsburgh, for the most part, they're done for too, as it sits. And then NFC-wise, yeah, it's more top-heavy than the AFC is. But everybody's still, as mentioned in the past few weeks, middle of the pack. There's a few teams, 7, 8, 9 wins, but everybody, for the most part, it seems like right there in the middle, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins as well. So yeah, the Bills and Patriots, as they'll meet next Monday night, they're tied atop the AFC East right now. The Dolphins and the Jets are done for. And then in the North, Pittsburgh with the tie, that's helping them, but it's hurting them. It's Baltimore, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. The other thing is, too, everybody's still going to play each other, okay? So games not decide on paper, decide on the field. It'll work itself out. Tennessee and Indy in the South. Houston and Jacksonville are done for. And then Kansas City and the LA Chargers, along with the Raiders, who beat the Cowboys on a game-winning field goal in overtime on Thanksgiving Thursday night. Broncos are still there, too. So we'll see what happens out west. But I feel they're done for as well. And it's just going to be those top 3 teams making a run. But only 7 AFC and 7 NFC teams are going to make the playoffs. 14 with the expanded playoffs returning, 14 and 32, playoff bound before Super Bowl 56, February 13th in Inglewood. The site of last night's loss for the Steelers at the Chargers. Had the game lost, I don't know how many times, found a way to come back, take a lead, and then lost it again. In a game they should have won. This game, for the most part, is over. They've lost already at halftime, 31-3. But we still have a half of football to be played, so we'll see what happens. But it's not looking good, and at this rate, you might as well just call it quits and have a running clock and be done with it. Get the hell home and get ready for Baltimore. But then in the NFC, you have the Cardinals atop as the 1 seed right now, followed by Green Bay, who beat Arizona, but Arizona's 9-2 versus Green Bay's 8-3. Tampa, Dallas, the Rams, Vikings, and Niners. Eagles are coming for the Cowboys. Panthers are still in the mix. The Saints are still in it, but I feel New Orleans is done for because they have no quarterback play. And then the Skins are still there. I feel Atlanta. Chicago could make a run, maybe. They've been playing pretty good as of late. We'll see. The Giants, Seahawks at 3-7. They're going to have to, for the most part, win out to make the playoffs, and I doubt that'll happen. And just, their season sort of ended, even though they took Pittsburgh to overtime a week later. It was early October when Russell Wilson went down with that injury. He's since returned, but they haven't won. They're 0-2 in his return. Yeah. Seattle's in a tough spot right now. Everybody, for the most part, is middle of the pack, but there are a few teams that are having a down year this year. And then, of course, the Lions right now have the number 1 pick in the draft come April at 10-1. With them bringing up the rear in the NFC North. That's led by the Packers, but then the Vikings and Bears are still there as well. It's the Cowboys, Eagles, Skins, Giants in the East, but Washington maybe, but we'll see. Of course, the NFC East, there's a new team that wins that division. Seems like every year anyway. And then the South and the West, Tampa, Carolina, New Orleans, and Atlanta. But New Orleans and Atlanta, I feel, are done for. Carolina, maybe, we'll see. Bucks will be there, no doubt about it, with Brady and the Bucks. But and then out west, probably 3 teams if San Fran can continue to do what they've been doing as of late with the Cardinals, Rams, and 49ers then. But back to it here. 3-yard run. Be 2nd down and 7 for the Pittsburgh Steelers here. 2 plays into the second half, trailing 31-3 at Cincinnati. Thank you once again for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Next commercial break, we'll update some scores from around the league this week 12. Dump off on a screen near side, incomplete, 10 for Najee Harris. 3rd down and 7.
With that, but if you keep that principle, then you've given yourself opportunities. Or do you go more of a zone show?
3rd down and 7 for Pittsburgh. They're going to have to score, and score again to get back in this game. Pass near side, complete to Deontay Johnson. Nice catch by 18. 3rd and 7 goes for about 20. And that's a catch. Right in the breadbasket. Left foot's in, drags it right. That's a catch. That's 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh. Move the sticks up past the 40 to the 43, 1st and 10. 31-3, Cincinnati. And Ben near side, incomplete. Back to Deontay Johnson. 2nd down, 2nd and 10. Yeah, they're going to have to score and score. You got to still try to be balanced, because if you're throwing all the time and they start stopping and then you try to want to run the football, they're going to stop the run too, because they know you're going to be running it, and vice versa. But, it starts up front. You got to be able to run the football, and they can't, and it sucks. Just absolutely pathetic. It's almost December, and you have no running game. 2nd and 10 from the 43. Roethlisberger complete to James Washington, his first catch of the afternoon. The 3rd and 7 after another 3-yard pickup. It's like they, chip away at it, okay, and they get a, 1st down or 2, but then they're just right back to square one. Same thing on defense. They get a big stop, and then they give up a big play. It's very frustrating, because we all know, along with them included, they could be playing 10 times better. Roethlisberger down on the sack, be 4th and 10, and Harvin's on to punt. Jesus Christ.
To the outside, and he's going to stunt. So he's here, he comes up the field, and then he's going to come underneath. And watch as he gets to the legs of Ben Roethlisberger as he attempts to slide up in the pocket. Ben thinks he has a little bit of a gap where he can step up, but Hubbard comes around and gets him down low, forcing his punt. Harvin the punt.
On the return from the 17-yard line, few missed tackles by Pittsburgh. Block in the back. Where's the penalty flag? And then on the return, Phillips goes out to past the 35-40-yard line. Looks like 1st and 10, Cincy. 31-3. Just, God. Can't do a damn thing on offense. Can't get any stops on defense either. So, yeah, 31-3, Cincinnati. Early 3rd quarter, back to it with the Eagles and Giants right now as well, 3-0. Big Blue, which sort of is a surprise, to be honest with you. I'd say this is a little bit of a shock, too, just with how big of a lead they have and with how bad the Steelers are playing. Of course, thought it'd be a little bit closer because, it was close when these two teams met earlier in the year, and then Cincinnati pulled away late because, big play, and they capitalized off of turnovers and, ended up winning. But since then, I mean, both teams have, been playing damn good football, steady. It's a long season. Rome wasn't built in a day. Sometimes starts how you finish. If you're playing good football in November, December, January, you make a run. If you're hot, you're going to make a run, and you're probably going to go to the Super Bowl for the most part, unless you get upset. But we got a few games early third quarter, a few still at halftime. But the Bengals, you're just now tuning in, lead the Pittsburgh Steelers 31-3. Also, early third quarter, as mentioned, the Giants 3-0 on top of the Eagles. Falcons at Jacksonville 14-3. Texans leading the Jets 14-11. And then at halftime, the Colts lead the Bucs by 10, 24-10. Dolphins 21-10 on top of Carolina. And then 16-13, New England leading the Tennessee Titans. But still to come this afternoon, Chargers, Broncos, Rams, Packers, Vikings, 49ers, Sunday Night Football, Browns, Ravens, Monday Night Football, Seattle, and Washington. However, on Thursday night, we had Buffalo go to the Bayou, defeat the Saints on Thanksgiving, 31-6. But earlier in the day, both the Bears and Raiders won on game-winning field goals. Chicago 16-14 over the Lions, who are still winless at 10-1. And in overtime, the Raiders, the Silver and Black, beat the Boys 36-33. Mike McCarthy, I don't know what the hell you want me to say either. Right, whatever the hell you want, I'm all for it, no doubt about it. The officiating, 28 penalties, which wasn't a record. The NFL record for penalties in a game happened back in 1976. We had 28 penalties for 276 yards on Thursday with the Raiders and Cowboys. It seemed like there was a penalty every play. 5% of the game, there was a penalty. Back in 1976, between the Seahawks and Buccaneers, there's a total of 39 penalties for 310 yards. These 28 penalties we saw on Thursday for 276 were the most in an NFL game as well since 2016. So a 5-year difference with the officials calling not that bad of a game officiating wise, but it was all damn time. Thing is, if it's a penalty, okay, call it because it's a penalty. If not, don't. You let them play. There are a few good no calls, but then also penalty wise, they were throwing them left and right. So that's my 2 cents on that for the time being. But back to it here. 1st and 10 Bengals from the 46, up 31-3 on the Steelers, 10 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the third quarter. Coming at halftime, Pittsburgh's got to find something, to build off of going into next week, because they're going to lose today, but, just get some rhythm and momentum, and I could probably already bet you next week they're going to look like a completely different team, and they're going to give Baltimore all they can fucking handle. And don't be shocked if the Steelers beat the Ravens now next Sunday. Up and down, a roller coaster. 2nd and 11 from the 45 for Cincinnati, empty set 5 wide. Screen to the tight end, Uzama, and Edmonds on the tackle, loss of 5 yards. Be 3rd and Austin, 3:16, back at the 40. Under 10 to play in this third quarter now, but they have just been shooting themselves in the foot. Can't do a damn thing on offense, can't make a stop on defense. So what do you expect? Just very frustrating, to say the least. And now Robert Spillane is out for the remaining part of the game, so it'll be Watt, Bush, Schobert, and Highsmith at backer. At least they got Watt and Minka back. Still no Joe Hayden. Millett's been getting beat. So has James Pierre. Hayward's made a few tackles. Not really doing a whole lot, though, along with Cam Sutton. At least they forced Cincinnati to punt here. But at the same time,
Well, that was a quick series when you consider what the Bengals have done all day.
they now have only forced Cincinnati to punt once. This is the first punt for Cincinnati.
They didn't really push anything down the field
They haven't been able to get off the field.
on that series of plays.
They haven't made stops. But now Bengals punt almost blocked. So you got to be able to capitalize, which they probably won't be able to, but you got to be able to capitalize. And ball down at the 18-yard line, 1st and 10 Pittsburgh from there when we return. 31-3 Cincinnati on top of the Pittsburgh Steelers with 8.5 to play in the third quarter. The Giants score. They're on top of the Eagles now 10-0. We got NFL Red Zone via link with the Patriots on top of Tennessee 16-3. Mike Vrabel and the boys going to Foxborough. One of his former 3 homes in the NFL. Of course, played for the Steelers, played for the Patriots, and also the Chiefs before he got into coaching with Ohio State, and then was Bill O'Brien's defense coordinator in Houston before he took the Titan job. But I feel everybody knows him from his playing career with the Patriots. And along with Adam Vinatieri, he won them a few Super Bowls single-handedly. And along with Tom Brady, of course, too. But, Brady doesn't have Vinatieri kicking a few game winners. He doesn't have 7 rings right now. Probably has a few, but not that many. But remember, the Titans went to Foxborough and beat the Pats in the playoffs 2 years ago and sent Brady back in Tampa Bay before Brady won Super Bowl last year with the Bucs. And they trail at Indy today, as mentioned, now to Carolina and Miami in the Panthers with a fake punt. And they get it 1st and 10.
Hey, buddy, want me to drive?
Why would I want that?
Everyone says you couldn't handle the curve.
Who says that?
You show people a curve, God falls apart.
Tebow? The curve? No way.
Literally everyone
So the
says
Patriots are going to now have to settle for a field goal. Now on top 19-13. So, yeah, can watch 2 games. Of course, CBS and Fox at once, but then also via link. Now NFL Red Zone. Of course, how Red Zone works out. Take you from game to game across the league. See all the action at once with big plays and big moments. There's an incomplete pass from Trevor Lawrence. Jacksonville trailing Atlanta 21-3. But for the Steelers, back to it here, it's not looking good, to say the least. This is just very pathetic. Very bad football. From the 18, Ben gonna hand off. And a rush for about 6 yards. And Kalen Ballage now in the ball game, number 29. So all 3 running backs, all 4 actually, McFarland in the return game. But all 3 have received at least 1 carry now today. That goes for 5 officially now, 2nd and 5. But now an empty set 5 wide from the 23, 2nd and 5. Ben gonna throw. That's a false start on the left tackle. And 65 Dan Moore Jr., but they don't call it. Pass complete to 18 Deontay Johnson. First Steeler first down. Pick up about 10. 1st and 10. Okay, 11 officially. 1st and 10 though. But just keep it simple. Time's not going to be on their side even with timeouts and 2-minute warning. They're down 28. And it's 4 touchdowns. I mean, I've seen crazier shit happen, but they're in a hole, and it's going to be very tough. Like, there's no way, no chance in hell, if you will, that they'll be able to get back in this game. At least make it competitive to have a chance to win it, you know. So yeah, they haven't put themselves in a position to do that. They've gone the opposite way, and it's cost them. It has. And like I said, it just sucks to the core. It does. This is bad. Like I said, it has to be one of the worst performances I've seen in quite a while by Pittsburgh. So from the 33, 2nd and 10, Ben completes Najee Harris after an incomplete pass to him on the previous play. And then he gets 13 yards on a catch and run, making a few men miss, gets some yak yards, and just, yeah, keep moving the football. That's all you need to do. I mean, where's the hell have this been all day? Seriously. I mean, their best drive was when they cut it to 7 at 10-3. Turnovers have cost them. Can't make stops. And they trail by 28 because of 21 unanswered. Can't run the ball, and they can't stop the run. And that's where it starts and ends. Ben pump fakes on an empty set, gets drilled as he gets rid of it, and the ball is out, and the Bengals recover. Question is, was it incomplete, or was it a fumble, and now Roethlisberger a little slow to get up, holding his right arm, which isn't a good sign. And they say fumble. That's the third turnover by Pittsburgh since he's capitalized on 10 points earlier. Yeah, that's a fumble. Ball's out. And the Bengals recover 1st and 10. They'll have it at the 45-yard line when we return. And they'll probably capitalize again. 34, 38-3. You know, I mean, at this rate, you know, hopefully Ben's not hurt by any means. It doesn't look like it's serious, but, you know, some injuries, it doesn't need to be like that. It's the slightest movement that tears this or breaks that. And, I mean, as I've always said, you know, with the holiday spirit of Merry Christmas coming up, give Mason Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Dwayne Haskins the football playing quarterback. They're not the long-term answer for the Pittsburgh Steelers, no doubt about it. Neither is Josh Dobbs. But at this rate, I mean, Rudolph played, you know, against the Lions. They tied. They're down by 28. Going to be more here very shortly. Hopefully, like I said, Roethlisberger's not hurt. If he is, okay, but hopefully it's not serious. And he'll play next week, no doubt about it. I'd be shocked if he didn't. But you might as well just throw in the white towel at this rate. Hate to say it, but it's just how it is. And give Rudy some reps and move on for the time being. And then you just get to next week healthy. Hopefully get Joe Hayden back in the secondary. You got to find a running game, though. I don't know how the hell they cannot run the damn fucking football. It's like, once again, they get a good thing going, and then they blow it. It's been like this all day. No running game. The turnovers, can't make stops. Once they do make a stop, they give them a big play. Once they get a good play going on offense, turnover again, just going through the motions. Running around in fucking circles is all they're doing. So, yeah, turnovers. What I say at the start, turnovers. They have 3 of them. Cincy with 10 points off the previous 2. Make it 13-17 here in a second. And, I mean, this game is over as it is now, and it's going to be over here for sure here very shortly once the clock strikes 0-0 at the end of the 4th. But 6:22 to play in this 3rd from the 46, 1st and 10. Hand off to Joe Mixon for a yard. 2nd down and 9, officially now from the 45. Originally where I thought this drive was going to start at after the fumble. But, yeah, Ben, I mean, he's been known to hold on to the ball a little, you know, too long. And the pump fakes this year have caught him. He's been pump faking too damn much, I've thought. I've said that. I've been known to say that this year. Don't believe me, go listen to previous live watch on reaction streams live here on the YouTube channel. And once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. But you just got to play a little bit smarter and find a damn running game. It'll work itself out, believe me. Pittsburgh picks it off, but then it falls incomplete, and the Bengals actually do, in fact, scoop it up on the deflection. So, third down. Yeah. Highsmith had it, bobbled it. It almost, I thought it hit the ground. That's why I said incomplete. But then Mixon came in, made a big play, and rather than the interception, caught it himself. And they keep possession. It'll be 3rd and 17 now, though, officially. It has been that kind of day. And every dog has its day, and they're getting their ass kicked. 3rd and 17 from the 47. Burrow complete right the first down marker. Schobert and Sutton on the stop, but looks like he'll be short of the line to gain 4th and inches. They might say first down. It's going to depend on where they spot the football out here. It's going to depend on the spot. Might bring the chain gang out, but they say 4th and 1. He's short. Caught it right there at 35, yeah, but the ball is back a yard. And then he's tackled back at like the 38. So he is short, 4th and 1 for Cincy. And Zach Taylor's going to throw the challenge flag. Going to challenge the spot of the ball, which coaches very rarely win nowadays. But I mean, why the hell not challenge it? You're up 28 before 12 to play in the 3rd quarter. You could burn a challenge and, use a timeout right now. And rather than 4th and 1, you have a 1st and 10 out of it. And then you build off that and you continue your drive and you score. And you capitalize off another Steeler turnover. Since he's going to challenge the spot of the ball with forward progress, they have to find undisputed evidence to overturn it. I doubt they'll have it. Coaches very rarely win spot ball foul challenges. So I feel it'll stand 4th and short, 4th and 1 officially. They'll probably line up to go for it. Whether they do or not, we'll see. Probably just try to draw them off sides, in which, knowing Pittsburgh, how they're playing today, they'll probably jump off sides, to be honest with you. But at the same time, I still think go for it if it's 4th down. Probably get it. Maybe Pittsburgh's defense stops. Maybe that's what they need to get something going and cut this lead. Whether or not they come back and win it or not, who the hell knows? Probably not. Never say never, but never, as my tone would say. But yeah, that's where we're at. I mean, they could take a delay game as well and back themselves up and punt then at that rate. But they are right on the outside field goal range too. So maybe attempt a long field goal, but then of course you miss it. Even with a 28-point lead right now, you're going to give Pittsburgh some good and arguably their best starting field position here this afternoon. But challenge on the play. We'll see if the call's going to stand or if it gets overturned by any means. But 4th and short, they mark them short. 4th down for Cincinnati here. Up 31-3 on the Steelers here as we progress and near the end of the 3rd quarter. But yeah, just one of those days. One of those days for the black and gold today, no doubt about it.
Well, if you're excited about being murdered, I am excited for you. The new Ghosts, Thursday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Visa, a network giving small businesses tools to grow. And USAA, an official insurance sponsor of the NFL.
Cincinnati doesn't win the challenge. They're going to be charged with their first challenge and timeout this second half. So he is short. It's 4th and 1. Call stands. And we'll see what they do now. They go for it.
Trying to initiate and come back.
Try to draw them off.
Trying to loop around
Kick
for
it.
first down, and when contact happened is why they
Looks like they're going to go for it. They will. Burrow's under center. Watch a sneak.
when contact happened, that's why it's short.
Now they're just going to try to draw them off sides. Hard count. They do snap it, hand off Mixon, and Mixon gets the first down anyway, so 1st and 10 Bengals. I mean, it wasn't a bad decision to challenge. I mean, if they thought they would have, were going to win it, why not throw it? So, that's why you have 2 challenges, but if you don't win it, you're down 1, and then you're down timeout too, but they don't care. They're up 28 for God's sakes. So, 3:43 to play in this third, 1st and 10 from the 35. And Burrow once again going to hand off. Their 2-yard run. And as the clock ticks, Cincinnati's going to continue to drive and hope to capitalize on their Steeler turnover here. So, yeah, once again, just one of those days. There's not much else to be said. So now 2nd and 9 from the 33. Jamar Chase in the backfield, got a motion out wide. Burrow pass deflected to the line of scrimmage, incomplete, 3rd down. And we'll have an update. What do we got? Dolphins looking for their 5th win of the season. They now lead the Panthers 27-10 with about 4 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Everybody's, still right there in the middle of the pack. There's still, a lot of football to be played, but, everybody has, 5, 6, 7 wins, few with 8 and 9, but until the playoffs begin, everybody's going to be fighting for playoff spots. Pittsburgh on the outside looking in, 3rd and 9. Burrow escapes a sack. And then he'll end up just throwing it out of bounds, incomplete, 4th down. And here comes McPherson for another field goal. So the first interception, they settled for 3. The second interception was a pick 6. And then this fumble, the 3rd turnover, Cincinnati going to have to settle for 3 again. And McPherson... 1 for 1 today. This officially going to be from 51 yards out. Make it 34-3. Kick will, in fact, the snap, hold, kicks up, and looks good. It is good. And the Bengals, with a penalty flag on the field, now lead the Steelers 34-3, but we'll see what the yellow flag is and who's it against. It's 4th and 9. It's going to be offside. 4th and 4. Just take the points if I'm Cincinnati. Penalty's going to decline. Yeah. Kick's good. 34-3. Jesus Christ. Jump off sides on a field goal attempt. 34-3 Cincinnati. 2.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. Roethlisberger. All 3 turnovers belong to him. 13 points, but they're still down 21-3 at that rate. Still haven't done enough to get back in it. There's no fight. It seems like nothing to the tight ends. Claypool's not playing good. No running game. Can't make stops on defense. Okay. The 2 field goals, one, if not both, could be touchdowns as well. So it could be, a whole lot worse than what it is. But you can't turn the ball over and expect to win and have no running game and not make stops on defense, plain and simple. 34-3. Bengals. Roethlisberger 11-22 for 123 yards passing. That's 1-2-3, but it led to 3 too many turnovers with 2 interceptions, 1 return for 6, and then also a fumble. And then Najee Harris 6 for 19 on the ground, whereas Joe Mixon has 26 carries for 132 yards rushing and a touchdown. Where is the running game, Pittsburgh? It is almost December, and you don't have a running game. Are you fucking kidding me? Claypool has 2 catches for 52 yards. Also has a few drops and fall on the, even though Ben threw the ball, he ran the wrong route, it seemed like, on the first interception. They capitalized off that. That's 3 points. Pick 6, that's another 7, so 10. And another turnover on the fumble. Another 3 points for Cincinnati. 13 points up turnovers today by the Steelers. Just pathetic. Can't turn the ball over and expect to win. With no running game, and you can't stop them on defense. No running game, can't stop the run. Burrow picking them apart, 18-22 for 159 yards. Touchdown, doesn't have an interception, but that interception doesn't matter because one play later, Ben threw the pick 6, so they cancel each other out. Burrow does have a rushing touchdown as well. And then Mixon, 26 for 132, as mentioned on the ground score. So, yeah, Claypool, 2 for 52. Johnson, 4 for 57. And then Najee Harris, 2 for 12. And then T. Higgins has 5 catches, still 95 yards and scored. You know, I don't know why, Cincinnati's still throwing here in the third quarter. If I'm them, 31-point lead now, I'm running this football the rest of the way, running the clock out and winning. I'm not taking my chances on risking injuries with starters. I'm probably going to be pulling them here before too long. And just getting through the rest of this game healthy for both teams, for that matter, too, including Pittsburgh, and winning. But, Pittsburgh's going to be on the losing end. And at the same time, like I said, even Roethlisberger maybe throwing Rudolph, but still you got to run Harris, run 22, mix up some defense. Just got to, Ben's going to stay in, no doubt about it, which he does, because, he's Roethlisberger, for God's sake. So Ben going to hand off Najee Harris, no gain on the play. Yeah, it's up front. They can't run the football. Ben has to do too much. Hasn't been able to do shit today, seems like. 3 turnovers. But then still, they haven't done enough to make up for it either. So, Chase has 3 catches for 39 yards. Tyler Boyd, 2 for 13. Uzama, 3 for 9. Just one of those days, getting their ass kicked. Bubble screen, nowhere to go. Incomplete. Pass was a bullet, which it didn't need to be. Into the ground. Just a little outside. Just a bit outside. And incomplete, 3rd down and 10. Shake my damn head is all I'm doing now. Just, how the hell can you play like this and expect to have a chance to win? Like, come on now. 3rd and 10, under 2 to play in the third quarter. Ball 25. Dumps it off on a screen. And Najee Harris gets 3 yards. You got to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me right now. Jesus Christ. Can't move the ball more than 3 yards. Once again. And no time off the clock either. What the hell are you doing? What in the hell?
That's kind of been the mode for the Steelers today is hitting everything underneath or attempting everything underneath. Not very many throws pushed up the field.
They had a few deep balls, and the one actually connected, and that was actually on the field goal drive, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, because that was after the first interception. And just no.
38-yarder, 4-8 on the hang, and it will be Cincinnati's ball.
So 1st and 10 Bengals up 31, 34-3 with 1:07 to play. Minute 7 to play in the third quarter. Still got full 15 to play.
Each player hosted a separate event in the area to provide food and hospitality to kick off the holiday season. And guys, you gotta love seeing these players using their platform to spread some love this time of year.
Every team involved in some kind of charitable work during the holidays, especially when it matters.
From the 35, 1st and 10, Jamar Chase in motion. And everybody moved. That's a false start. They're going to let it go. Hand off to Mixon, and he's off to the races. 1st and 10, out past midfield, inside the 40, down at the 35. Pushed out of bounds. That play should have never happened. They should have blew that dead. That was a false start up front. Everybody moved except for the fucking center snapping the ball. And then a simple misdirection, cutting back near side. Nice block by Chase. And then Edmonds pushes him out of the 35. Minka right there as well. And a big first down run by the Bengals. So now from the 33 officially, 1st and 10, 20 seconds and counting to play in the third quarter. Burrow going to hand off. And Samaje Perine, the former OU Sooner and Redskin, Oklahoma losing Bedlam last night at Oklahoma State. Lincoln Riley will not be calling Baton Rouge, said last night. He will not be the next head coach at LSU. But we'll see what the Tigers do. But today in the NFL, the Bengals, with Tiger King himself, former LSU quarterback, and Joe Burrow, and Joe Mixon, another former Oklahoma Sooner at running back, are single-handedly defeating the Pittsburgh Steelers 34-3 at the end of the third quarter. Burrow has a passing and a rushing touchdown. And then Mixon has a touchdown. Okay, there's 21 points. And then there's a pick six, which that was off of a turnover, of course. And then the Bengals also have 2 field goals off of Steeler turnovers. 13 points off turnovers, do the math, that's 34 points, 34-3. Just frustrating as all hell. Like, I really want to just lay down, put a pillow over my face, and pull back at this rate. And then yell as loud as I possibly fucking can. That's just where we're at. This game's been over since halftime. This game will finally be over here in 15 minutes to play at the end of the third quarter. 34-3 Bengals. The turnovers, the no running game once again. Not being able to stop them on defense with a Bengal rushing attack. Burrow almost 200 yards passing. Just allowing them to drive and score on you. Making it look easy. Play after play, drive after drive. You know? And then you also got to rely on your special teams, and they have twice where field goals, capitalizing off of those turnovers as well. So like I said, 7-0 Cincy with a Joe Burrow 8-yard rushing touchdown. And then first interception by Roethlisberger, they capitalized with 3. It was 10-0. Pittsburgh with a field goal. They scored 20 unanswered. Now 24 unanswered. Making it 34-3 with a Burrow passing touchdown to T. Higgins, a Burrow rushing touchdown, a Joe Mixon rushing touchdown, and a pick six by former Steeler Mike Hilton. 2 field goals, 34-3 at the end of 3. Bengals football 2nd and 9 to begin the 4th. From the 32, dump off complete. And Perine going to be brought down the 20-yard line after a 12-yard reception. 1st and 10, Cincinnati. Eagles score. They now trail at New York by 3, 10-7. Yeah, I guess it's just one of those days, one of those weeks for the state of Pennsylvania. Penn State lost yesterday. Pitt won. They're going to play Wake Forest in the ACC Championship game now next week. We'll preview college football in the NFL coming up shortly, so stay tuned for next week's matchups. But Penn State lost yesterday. Steelers are losing today. The Eagles are losing today. Just been one of those days, one of those weeks. Another touchdown by the Bengals. Burrow to 85. T. Higgins. Penalty on the play? Or actually, they mark him short. Okay. That's the delay. They mark him short down at the 1 yard line. Tackle by James Pierre. Knees down at the 1. Ball's right there on the goal line, though. I mean, they had a play like that earlier before they ended up punching it in for 6. That he's down there, and then because they said on the earlier one touchdown, but they overturned it because all scoring plays were reviewed. Still punched it in. This, he's down to 1, so I'll have to find undisputed evidence to overturn it for a touchdown then at this rate. And he's down right there, but where's the ball at? It's right there on the goal line. And here comes Zach Taylor with another challenge. As if that's a touchdown or not, which it looks like it is. So Cincinnati's challenging. Runner being short of the goal line for 6. Right there. That's as close can get again. Go back to the other to look, because that's the one you want to be looking at. And they'll take a break. We'll get back to it with a challenge on a looks to be a touchdown, but they said short down to 1 yard line once again. So if it is a touchdown, it's Burrow to Higgins for the second time, and a 40-3, 41-3 lead then with the extra point here early fourth quarter. As I'm gonna have to do some digging with also preview to college and NFL next week as well here shortly. As of late, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, maybe even longer than that, however long it's been, the last time the Steelers had this big of a loss, this is bad. This is absolutely pathetic. But, yeah, we'll see what the call on the field's going to be. Well, I mean, it is down short the 1, be first and goal, but if they overturn it to a touchdown. But, yeah, just, I don't know how the hell, once again, they think they can do this and then have a chance to win at the end of it. Okay, from what I've found here, just, within a few seconds, the last time the Steelers had this bad of a loss, largest margin of defeat, would have been back in 2016. They lost by 31 at Philadelphia, 34-3. Since then, they made up for that. They beat the Eagles at home last year because they play every 4 years because of how the NFL schedule is, of course. Okay, they say play stands as called down at the half-yard line, first and goal from the 1, and a handoff to Joe Mixon. He's in the end zone for another touchdown Cincinnati, 40-3 with the upcoming extra point. No, it's 34-3 5 years ago, as that was the largest defeat since 1989, the last time the Bengals won 3 in a row against the Steelers. They lost to Cincinnati 41-10. History repeating itself here. It's 40-3, about to be 41-3. And then maybe Pittsburgh scores here in this fourth. Had that same final score. Extra point going to be up and good right down Broadway. But then before that, the Steelers' largest defeat ever was also in 1989. They lost against Cleveland 51-0. So right now, well, that was a 31-point loss. This Steeler loss right now at 38, going to go down as the worst loss in 32 years. And it's been 31 years since the Bengals last won 3 in a row against the Steelers. So it's just that point in time in history with it repeating itself with how bad things are going right now for Pittsburgh. But no, the largest defeat in Steelers history, they lost against Cleveland 51-0. That was to begin the season back in 1989. And then later on that year, they also lost to the Bengals as the final score was 41-10. We sit at 41-3 right now. But over the past 5 years, this will be the worst loss since they lost to Philly back in 16, 34-3. But they trail by 38 now at Cincinnati, 41-3. Getting the ball back 1st and 10 on a touchback. 1st and 10 from 25. And next commercial break, preview College Football Conference Championship weekend and NFL Week 13 for next week as well. So hopefully we'll tune back in for more live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube. All you have to do is hit the red subscribe button, little notification bell next to it as well. Ben pass behind Chase Claypool, incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 25, 13:01 to play. This is bad. This is pathetic. There's going to be a lot of questions coming out of this loss on what they need to do to get back to their winning ways. Fumble on the catch, and the Bengals recover, it looks like. Refs come in, they say incomplete, 3rd and 10. All right. To me, it starts up front. You got to be able to run the football. I feel they know that as much as we all do, but until they start running the football, we're going to be saying, well, why aren't you running the football and why don't you have a running game? They need to find a running game with Najee Harris, plain and simple. Defense, bending but not breaking. They've been broke since the start of this game. They have, as they mentioned once again, as I've stated a few times over the past couple weeks, the toughest remaining schedule in the NFL from now until the end of the regular season. Ben near side on a deep ball, complete to Claypool out past midfield. All right, at least that's worked today, but not much to build off of there. I mean, they're used to doing that. It's just, can you at least score a touchdown today, please? Can you at least punch it in? Can you score more than 3 points? So now 1st and 10 from the 47. Roethlisberger going to hand off Najee Harris. And Naj gets to the 43 on a 4, maybe 5-yard run. He's 2nd down and medium. 2nd and 6 officially on a pick up of 4. All right. So yeah, just wait. They have a decent drive going right now. I'll be shocked if they actually do, in fact, score on this drive. If they actually finally do something. Since he might have jumped off sides there. 2nd and 6, no penalty, but a pass complete far side Deontay Johnson. There is a flag. They'll probably decline it now. Now that was called for a 1st down, 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. But just, yeah, one of those days again, you know, have something good going and they do something stupid to ruin it. And then on defense, get a big stop and then give up a big play. And there's been no in between today, plain and simple.
So he doesn't go after Claypool, but he already has his helmet off.
Wait, that's what the flag.
no, I'm saying Phillips was in the game. I think he and Claypool got into it, and somehow Phillips' helmet came off. So he decided to go charging after Claypool, and the guys jumped off the sideline to grab him.
So with the penalty, what's the call? Personal foul, face mask on the Steelers. 15 yards, replay the down. Where the hell was there a face mask at? Okay, right there. Yeah, that was on Claypool. And then they broke it up before it started because the Bengals were going to go after him. He's going to get him. 15 yards, I'll replay the down. He didn't get him, though, because they broke it up. And, yeah, face mask because they were going at it. And then the pass was caught. But now 2nd and 21. So the pass complete to Deontay Johnson off the board now. 2nd and 21 for the Steelers. Down by 38. 41-3 your score if you're just now tuning in. And thank you for tuning in and listening. Been a very rough afternoon, to say the least. Ball back of the 42. And Roethlisberger, a step-up pump fake down the far sideline. And Claypool comes back for it and drops it incomplete. Back to being stone hands, I see. Got an update. What do we got? Back to Bucks and Colts. Another rushing touchdown. 28-24 Tampa on top of Indy. Jacksonville only now down 10 at home against the Falcons. 21-11. The Giants still with the Eagles. 10-7. Dolphins up by 20. 30-10 on the Panthers. New England advances their lead 26-13 over the Tennessee Titans. Carolina at Miami down by 20. 30-10. Jets 18-14 at Houston. Pass complete to Frymuth on 3rd and 21. So 3-2-1. He gets to the 50. But it'll be 4th down. At this rate, just fucking go for it. They'll punt. Can't do a damn thing on offense. Absolutely pathetic. Starts up front, no running game. So the question is, if this keeps up this year, or hell, even after today, once they get home, do they make any moves? Do any assistant coaches get canned this week before Baltimore rolls in next Sunday for around the same time they met in Pittsburgh last year? Because remember, last year they were supposed to meet on Thanksgiving night. The game was postponed a few times because of COVID, and they would have played a year ago this upcoming Wednesday afternoon. As last year, the NFL, during the COVID 2020 season, had at least one game on every day of the week last year for the first time ever in NFL history. And the Steelers split with the Bengals last year. They beat them at home right before Thanksgiving and lost to them on the road right before Christmas on a Monday night. But this year, they lose to them at home week 3 back in September, and they're going to lose to them today, the Sunday after Thanksgiving this year. Now, it's 41-3. We have about 10 minutes to play. The Bengals get the football back after a Steeler punt, 1st and 10. But, okay, updates and scores. Preview next week. College football in the NFL as well. Once again, thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe as always on social media. Links in the description below. Bengals 41-3 on top of Pittsburgh. The Buccaneers and Colts in a back-and-forth battle from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indy, the site of the 2022 College Football Playoff National Championship game on Monday night, January 10th. 28-24, Tampa Bay on top of the Colts. Miami, as mentioned, they lead at home from South Beach on top of Carolina by 20, 30-10. The Patriots 26-13 over the Tennessee Titans, pulling away in the 4th quarter from Foxborough. 10-7 Giants on top of the Eagles in the NFC East from East Rutherford. The Falcons 21-14 now. Jacksonville just kicked the field goal. 21-14 Atlanta. And then the Jets 18-14 leading Houston. Still to come, though, Chargers, Broncos, Rams, Packers, along with the Vikings and Niners, and Sunday Football, Browns, Ravens, Monday night, Seattle, and Washington, as I'll have live watch-along reactions tomorrow night. That matchup with WWE Monday Night Raw as well, following Survivor Series last weekend and now on the road to WWE Day 1 on January the 1st. But already this week 12, the Chicago Bears, Raiders, and Buffalo Bills won on the road, all on Thanksgiving. 16-14 Chicago over the Lions, who are now still winless at 0-10-1. Silver and Black defeated the Cowboys 36-33 on a game-winning field goal as well. In overtime, and the Bills went to the Bayou and beat the Saints 31-6. Next week in college football for Conference Championship Weekend, with a week from today being Selection Sunday, we'll know who's in and out of the college football playoff, who's playing who in bowl games this upcoming bowl season. We'll have the Conference USA Conference Championship game on Friday night with Western Kentucky and the University of Texas San Antonio. A Pac-12 championship rematch from last weekend, Oregon and Utah from Sin City. Next Saturday, another rematch with Baylor and Oklahoma State for the Big 12 championship, after Oklahoma State defeated Oklahoma last night in Bedlam. Now, if OU would have won, we'd have a rematch from last night next week. But these two teams met back in October, and they'll face off in the Big 12 championship. MAC title on the line between the Kent State Golden Flashes and Northern Illinois Huskies, Utah State, San Diego State for the Mountain West next Saturday afternoon. App State, Louisiana Lafayette for Sun Belt Conference Championship game. Billy Napier, we'll see if he coaches. He probably won't, to be honest with you. He just was named the new head coach at Florida earlier today. The SEC Championship in a battle of the top two teams in the country right now, pending the college football playoff rankings on Tuesday night. It'll be Georgia out of the East and Alabama out of the West. If Georgia wins, they're in. Alabama's out. But if Alabama wins, they're both in the playoff. And then in the ACC Championship game, we'll have Pitt and Wake Forest, along with a makeup game from a few weeks back in the Pac-12 as well, Cal. And then the AAC Conference Championship game, Cincinnati, if they win, they're in. They'll host Houston in a home game. And then from Indy, it'll be Michigan and Iowa for the Big Ten Championship. And if Michigan wins, they're in. So the top four, if Alabama wins, both Alabama and Georgia are going to be in. But if Georgia wins, Alabama's out, and then that's going to open the door for somebody. Michigan and Cincinnati both win. They're in. Alabama wins, they're both in. There's your four then with Georgia, Alabama, Michigan, and Cincinnati. But if Georgia beats Bama, Bama's out, opens the door for somebody, Georgia's in. Michigan wins, Cincinnati wins, you still need one. We'll see who it is, whether it be Oklahoma State now if they win the Big 12, maybe Notre Dame, but they're not playing next week. Still not in the conference because they're afraid to lose. Maybe we see our first two-loss team in the playoff. It looks like we'll get our first non-power 5 in the playoff for the first time ever, but still a lot to unfold next week in college football for the college football playoff with conference championship weekend next week. So that's next week, and then the bowl games will then begin about 2 weeks from then, with Army, Navy, of course, in between. USC targeting Lincoln Riley. Announcement coming in next 24 hours. So USC is going to have a head man by tomorrow night, it seems like. And then my college football coaching carousel video at that rate will probably just be an update rather than what I think should happen. I mean, that's not a bad idea for them. He'd have a better shot with Oklahoma going to the SEC, and they're 10-2 in the Big 12 this year, to win in the Pac-12 South and the Pac-12 in general, than continuing on in the Big 12 for who knows how much longer, and then also in the SEC. So USC is going to target Lincoln Riley, but Lincoln Riley said last night, this is breaking news, I literally just got the notification a few seconds ago, so I'm bringing it up, talking about college football as well. But he said last night, I'll stop you there, I'm not going to be the next head coach at LSU, but will he turn down USC too? we'll see. It'll be interesting. It's heating up. I mean, a few jobs have already been filled, which is a little bit of a surprise. Teams not wasting any time. But then there's still, a few open, and we'll see, what those schools decide to do. But keep an eye out. I'll discuss everything, as mentioned yesterday, depending on what happens these next couple of days now, with the college football coaching carousel, with who, once again, I feel the schools should hire, who did get hired if they hire somebody in the meantime, et cetera, and we'll go from there. And then about a week and a half from now, college football bowl game for the bowl season preview. We'll also have a NFL coaching carousel and NFL playoff preview as well early next year as well. So keep an eye out. Just be sure to subscribe. But yeah. And then with 6:20 to play, Bengals going to go 3 and out again. As Joe Burrow's done for today. They're up 41-3, 4th and 5. They'll punt. We'll preview NFL Week 13 here in a matter of moments, so stay tuned. But the Bengals on the punt from the 26. On the return from the 28 to 31. Cam Sutton backfield and punts. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. As Burrow's done, that was number 8 for the Bengals in at QB. They go 3 and out. And number 8, the former Arkansas Hog, and Brendan Allen, who... Was it him or was it Ryan Finley? I think it was Finley who beat Pittsburgh on Monday Night Football before Christmas last year. Still a loss. And the Steelers are going to lose again today. Pittsburgh not going to make a change at quarterback. Rosberg going to stay in. Rudolph has his helmet on the sideline, but Ben's back in. 1st and 10 from 31. Down the middle, complete to Deontay Johnson, out past midfield. And then decides to go east-west rather than north-south and back tackled the 47. So 1st and 10 from there.
Who now has 5 catches for 63 yards and Ben through the air, 50%, 15 to 30, 180 yards, a pick 6, and another interception. Now with a hand in the pistol.
Out of the pistol, handoff to McFarland. 3 yards to midfield for him, 2nd down and 7. 5.5 to play. Pittsburgh with the loss. They'll fall to 5-5-1. They'll host Baltimore next Sunday afternoon. The Ravens host the Browns on Sunday Night Football, so sure to keep an eye on that game. But yeah, Pittsburgh just getting beat today. Bobble on the snap. Ben gonna throw it in the ground on the screen, and then a flag comes in. There's no way in hell that's intentional grounding, but they might get him on it. Decline it, or an illegal man downfield. Okay. Yeah, bad snap from Kendrick Green, the rookie center out of Illinois. And then he threw it in the ground on the screen, and an eligible receiver downfield on Chuk. Penalties to decline. 3rd down for Pittsburgh. Be 3rd and 7, right? Yeah.
Cincinnati today marks the first of 3 straight games at home. And they're going to finish up the season with 5 home games, including today over the final 7 weeks of the season. They've really put themselves in a good position.
Cincinnati has put themselves in a good spot. I mean, 6-4, get 7-4, a lot of home games coming up. They might be a force to be reckoned with come playoff time, but knowing the Bengals, yeah, they'll find a way to lose. Believe me, they'll find a way to lose in the fucking playoffs. So you'll be able to hear it here first, and I'll say I told you so. Yeah, they get the Chargers, Niners, Ravens, and Chiefs all at home from now until New Year's. They don't have to go to Denver and Cleveland. Wow. 4 big home games for them. 4 must-win games for them as well. Pittsburgh's got a tough schedule coming up. As mentioned, Baltimore next Sunday at home. They go to Minnesota on Thursday night. Then they get Tennessee rolling in the Sunday before Christmas. And then at Kansas City the day after. And then into the new year, as they show the Steelers schedule now as well. Okay, Cleveland and then at Baltimore on the 3rd and 9th of January. But then the NFL with the schedule right before Christmas, there's a few games that are going to get flexed to that Saturday. Just don't know what games yet. And then also the second Saturday of January, the 8th. I guess there's going to be a few NFL games that day as well. But we'll see if Pittsburgh can win for the first time in a month come next week against Baltimore with their toughest remaining schedule in the league coming up, as they haven't won since they defeated the Bears a few weeks back on a Monday night, 29-27. Slaying over the middle, complete on 3rd and 2 to Deontay Johnson, 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. At least score a touchdown today, please. Can you score at least more than 3 points? Show some fucking fight.
Last home game here for Cincinnati. You recall they lost to Cleveland back on November 7th, 41-16. That was on the heels of a loss to the Jets the week before. When they hit their low point, the boy they had the tie.
1st and 10, Pittsburgh from the 23. Ben complete to Deontay Johnson again. Keep throwing the football until they stop him. Why not? About 8 yards, 2nd down and short.
On that play, State Farm post-game show in New York right after this one.
Yeah. Can you please score a touchdown today?
CBS down to the 15-yard line.
We'll see if we get bonus coverage. This game's going to wrap up here in 3 minutes and 5 seconds with a 2-minute warning. Pittsburgh with 3 timeouts remaining. Knocking on the door. Inside the red zone, 2nd and 2 from the 15. Ben in the end zone, intended for Frymuth, and what a catch by the rookie out of Penn State, and he brings it in for a touchdown. The Steelers do, in fact, score for the first time today. All right, I'll take it. 41-9. They're going to go for 2. Fucking kick it. Kick the extra point. Beautiful pass. Even better catch by Frymuth. They haven't gone on tight ends enough this year. Very rarely do they go to them today. Still no running game, but the Steelers do, in fact, get on the board with a touchdown. The field goal they had to cut it to 7 early, 10-3, before allowing 31 unanswered and then scoring a touchdown, 41-9, with Boswell on for the extra point. Kicks up and good, 41-10. The same exact score it was in the Bengal win back in 1989, the last time the Bengals won 3 in a row against the Steelers. It's funny, of course, how history repeats itself. And now back to a 31-point deficit, so will be the tied, at least, over the past 5 and then 32 years, largest defeat for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but no 51-0, which is the largest defeat in Steelers history. But, yeah, just, at least they scored. At least they showed some fight there on the last drive. Just they would have been able to show that all entire afternoon, the whole entire game, make some stops and move the ball downfield on offense with a running game and been with a passing touchdown there. You know, this game might be a little bit different, but you still can't turn the ball over 3 times and, you know, have a chance to win on the road, because it led to 13 points. They're still down 28-10 if they don't turn the ball over, because they still couldn't make stops. Still no running game. Couldn't stop the run either. And until, of course, they cut the difference, they're in a hole, which they still are. And then the Bengals on the kickoff return, I don't know what the hell they were thinking there. They're going to take a knee, and then they do bring it back out to around the 10-yard line. So 1st and 10. I feel the player, was going to let the ref blow it dead for a touchback, but yeah, that was an odd kickoff return.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
So they don't get the touchback, no safety. They return it to the 10, 1st and 10. He's getting his ass chewed out now. But and we got breaking news. Lincoln Riley's leaving Oklahoma to go to USC. Wow. That was what, 15 minutes? USC targeting Lincoln Riley. He said last night, I will not be the next head coach at LSU, but he never said I won't be the next head coach at USC. Lincoln Riley's going to USC. Are you kidding me? Of course, he took over for Bob Stoops. And now if I'm Oklahoma, I'm calling him up to return. Because who the hell are you going to hire to get you from the Big 12 to the SEC? Bob Stoops, Oklahoma needs to call him up and have him return. Lincoln Riley took over 5 years ago, and 5 seasons later, he's done at OU. Lincoln Riley's going to USC. USC couldn't get, and USC's probably going to be back here before too long. That's a big move by them. And he can recruit. And they got to keep those kids in LA if they're going to want to win. But USC is still a national brand. They'll be recruiting nationwide. But that's some big news. I'll have more on this upcoming week in a Coach Carousel video. So 2 big college football hires today. Billy Napier to Florida and Lincoln Riley to USC. LSU still open. Washington State promoted their interim. Washington open. Texas Tech and TCU have been filled already. Virginia Tech still open. We'll see who the Hokies hire. New Mexico State made a hire yesterday as well. So that leaves, I do believe, Akron, UMass, Florida International, and Louisiana Tech as the only other opening. So they're hitting the ground running, going quick. And I said last night, it just depend, Lincoln Riley to go to LSU or wherever, and he's going to USC now, depending on the outcome of the Bedlam game last night with Oklahoma State, and they lost. No Big 12 title. He's done at OU. How many commits and recruiting does he flip to USC now? He's going to win at USC. He will. USC is going to be back. Give him a couple years, but they'll be back. He'll win in the Pac-12 because the Pac-12 with Oregon, UCLA is getting there again. That'll be a damn good battle for LA. Not the 60-30 win they had last week by any means, but Chip Kelly and Lincoln Riley going at it as head coaches, calling the plays on offense. Hell yeah. Lincoln Riley, this is breaking news, is going to USC. USC couldn't draw Mike Tomlin. He said there's not a booster with a big enough blank check to allow me to take the job. Never say never, but never. James Franklin, no. Dave Aranda, no. I'm trying to think of a few other candidates USC was going to be going after. But then they make a splash and hire Lincoln Riley.
So the Cincinnati Bengals, after this, should the score stand?
Yeah, I'll have to look at my notes.
In the division, that's pretty good.
That's a big hire. That is a huge hire for USC. I mean, it really doesn't matter who else were candidates because they're no longer candidates, and Lincoln Riley's the next head coach at USC, effective immediately. He's going to leave Oklahoma. So what does Oklahoma do? I'd say call Bob Stoops. I would. Early signing day right before Christmas, I feel that's why some of these schools are not waiting around anymore. Regular season just ended yesterday. Of course, Florida. They will go to a bowl game now at 6-6, beating Florida State yesterday. But Napier won't coach. They'll finish out with who they have as assistants. And then USC still has one more game. They play Cal next week. So I'm sure he'll be there. But, yeah, that's a big hire. Lincoln Riley to USC. I thought about that a little bit last night, but I didn't actually think it happened, to be honest with you. But like I said, just a second ago, okay, 10-2 at Oklahoma this year, and they should have had more than 2 losses. I've said it all season long. They really should have been like 500, 6-6, maybe 7-5. But of course, Oklahoma and Texas as well, 5-7 season with Sark, former Washington USC coach, assistant under Saban Alabama, now at Texas, both going to the SEC. Lincoln Riley said last night, no, I'm not going to LSU, but he never said I'm going to USC. And then, so they obviously paid more than LSU is, banked the Brinks truck up to his front door, and wonder what the deal is, but I think it's probably a good amount, to be honest with you. I mean, just James Franklin and Mel Tucker got 10-year extensions this past week for almost $100 million apiece. So it's like you get $100 million, you get $100 million, you get $100 million, like Oprah. So we'll see who LSU hires now. But no, with Lincoln Riley, can't really win. Or I mean, he has, but he hasn't at Oklahoma. I mean, he got him to the playoff. Won a few Big 12s, but Oklahoma, I think he, saw the future. Okay, they'll go to the SEC because of the money. But are Oklahoma and Texas going to be able to win the SEC? Right now, no. With the way they played this year, no way in hell. Because they had how many close games? Oklahoma should have had 10 more losses than what they had. But Lincoln Riley now at USC, he'll win at USC. He will. That's a big hire by the Trojans. So for them, fight on. And that's all I'll say about that. But I'll have more about college football and the coaching carousel and the bowl season over the next 2 weeks. So keep an eye out for videos. Be sure to subscribe. And thanks for tuning in and listening today to NFL Live Watch Along Reactions live right here on YouTube. However, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to come up on the losing end at the Cincinnati Bengals. 1:01 to play, 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh. Timeout, Cincy, 41-10 your score. But that's just some big breaking news, of course. Had to get to it because I just saw it. Over the past, 20 minutes, half hour now or so? That was quick. That was fast. I mean, it had to have been in the works for a while, and it was under the radar. It kept quiet about it. And, Billy Napier to Florida and Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma to USC. 1st and 10. And Roethlisberger finds Deontay Johnson about 6 yards. The 40, 2nd down. So now it's, okay, who does LSU hire? I thought earlier, like I said, Matt Campbell to USC. Maybe he goes to LSU. Maybe it's Luke Fickell. I think Fickell's content at Cincy. They're going to the Big 12. Iowa State's already in the Big 12. I mean, we'll see that matchup, regardless of who's coaching, in the next couple years. Even though them, along with West Virginia and Notre Dame, probably should be in the Big 10, but it is what it is. The Big 12 is going to add a few other schools as well, but I feel Fickell's going to be content staying at Cincy because he's going to have him in the playoff, and who knows, maybe even in the national championship and winning the national championship for all we know right now, depending on what the hell happens in the next couple weeks for the games to be played. Never say never, but never for Mike Tomlin to USC. They hire Lincoln Riley, Billy Napier from Louisiana Lafayette to Florida. LSU still open. Maybe it's Matt Campbell, maybe it's Luke Fickell, maybe it's somebody else. We'll see. But I'll have more on the college football coaching carousel come this week. So keep an eye out for video. At this rate, like I said, it's probably just going to be an update with everything already having taken place quicker than usual. And then, still there might be a surprise or two, but we'll see. And in the meantime, the Giants beat the Eagles 13-7. We'll see if we get bonus coverage. It looks like we will before America's Game of the Week with the Rams and Packers. 1st and 10 Steelers with 19 seconds to play. 41-10. Bengals will get bonus coverage with the Buccaneers and Colts. 31-24 Tampa with about 4 minutes to play. All right. They say, dude, show us a good game. This has been back and forth. Keep an eye on it, of course, on Red Zone here. But First and 10, Pittsburgh from the 28. Might score again, yeah. And pass incomplete near side, intended for Deontay Johnson. It was almost picked off, incomplete at the 5. Second down and 10 with 14 seconds to play. Show some sign of life here, build off of it, move into next week. Hopefully play 10 times better and look like a totally different team against the Ravens, who host Baltimore. Or the Baltimore Ravens, host the Browns tonight on Sunday Night Football. So, touchdown, Colts. They tie it up. Pending the upcoming extra point at 31 apiece with 3.5 to play. What a game. Bonus coverage now. Extra point up and good, 31-31. Jonathan Taylor, another rushing touchdown. And your final score from Cincinnati, though, as Roethlisberger and Burrow shake hands, two Ohio natives. The younger getting the better of his elder as the Bengals defeat the Steelers 41-10. The largest Steeler defeat in 5 years. Tied for also the same exact score as it was 32 years ago for the Bengals defeating the Steelers 41-10 as well. For the first time in 31 years, the Bengals beat the Steelers 3 straight times dating back to last year. 41-10 your final score. A few other finals, the Jets win, the Falcons win, the Dolphins win, and the Patriots win. Bengals just won. Bonus coverage on Fox, tied at 31 with the Bucks and Colts. So you got Giants, Falcons, Dolphins, Jets, Pats, and Bengals, all winners. We'll see if we get bonus coverage on CBS as well. Bonus coverage on Fox right now with the Bucks and Colts as mentioned. No, we won't get bonus coverage on CBS. CBS will be done now for the day. They'll have Chargers and Broncos at 4 o'clock if you get the game. That'll be on Red Zone as well. But Rams, Packers coming up along with Vikings, 49ers. So those will be the 3 kicks at 4 o'clock. And then Sunday Night Football, Browns, Ravens, Monday night, tomorrow night, Seattle and Washington. But the 3 road teams won on Thanksgiving, of course, Chicago, Vegas, and Buffalo, defeating the Lions, Cowboys, and Saints. And then your winners today, of course, the Bengals just beat the Steelers 41-10. The Dolphins 33-10 over Carolina. New England put it to Tennessee in the second half, 36-13, your final score. The Giants 13-7 over Philadelphia. The Jets defeat the Texans 21-14, and the Falcons also defeat the Jaguars by the same exact score, 21-14. Next week in the National Football League, Week 13, will begin on Thursday Night Football. Cowboys and Saints, who both lost at home on Thanksgiving this past week. I think Dallas would win that game. They've lost, 3 or 4, I do believe. Back to Denver. They beat Atlanta and then lost to Kansas City and the Raiders. So, yeah, they've lost 3 or 4. They'll win. They'll beat New Orleans. New Orleans doesn't have a quarterback. And they looked like shit on Thursday night against Buffalo. Buffalo put it to them. The Bills and Patriots going to be top of the AFC still, and they'll meet next Monday night on Monday Night Football. Also next week, as we'll enter December, Buccaneers, Falcons, Cardinals, Bears. The Chargers will be at Cincinnati, and then the Steelers will host the Ravens. So for these 2 teams, that's next week. Cincy hosting LA, who just beat Pittsburgh last week. And now Pittsburgh has lost 2 in a row for the second time this year. When they lost 2 in a row before, they lost 3 in a row before they won 4 straight, and then they tied. But they haven't won in a month come next week. We'll have highlights now on CBS from all the games that have since gone final. The only game on right now is this bonus coverage on Fox with Tampa Bay and Indianapolis 31-31 with about 3 minutes to play. Buccaneer football, so we'll see if Brady can lead the Bucs to a road win against the Colts. Not necessarily come from behind, but this game's just been back and forth all day from what I've seen. So we'll see who wins that, and then we'll have 3 at 4 o'clock here. Chargers, Broncos is officially underway now. So technically 2 games on, but 1 still from 1 o'clock. 1 from 4 o'clock underway. We'll have the 49ers and Vikings as well, along with Rams, Packers. Sunday night and Monday night still come later on tonight and tomorrow night too. But today the Bengals 41-10 winners over the Steelers. Cincy will host the Chargers. Pittsburgh will host the Ravens next week. Next week as well, the Vikings and Lions, Giants and Dolphins. Eagles will head back to East Rutherford. Same place, MetLife Stadium. They just lost at the Giants 13-7. They'll play at the Jets next week. Colts, Texans. Washington will be in Sin City, take on the Silver and Black. Jaguars, Rams, Ravens, Steelers, 49ers, Seahawks, and then Broncos, Chiefs next Sunday night. And next Monday night is New England and Buffalo from upstate Western New York and Orchard Park. So, Week 12 into Week 13. However, today in the Steelers loss, Big Ben Roethlisberger finishes 24-41 for 263 yards passing. They did score a late touchdown. It was Pat Freiermuth, but he had 2 interceptions and a fumble. The Bengals capitalized off of those 3 turnovers with 13 points. Okay, but there's still an 18-point gap because it would have been 28-10 if they don't turn the ball over. They still didn't do enough to win this game today, and they deserve to lose. They got their ass kicked. Largest Steeler defeat in 5 years is a 31-point loss at Philadelphia, 34-3, then in 2016. And that's tied for a 32-year record at Cincinnati, losing by the same exact score today, 41-10, also then. As the Bengals, for the first time in 31 years, defeat the Steelers for the 3rd straight time. However, not the largest Steeler defeat ever in history. Not 51-0, but a loss sucks. This really stings. You just gotta forget that this even happened. You move on. You play the whole, hopefully next week, whole different team. Hopefully, gotta find a running game, of course, no doubt about it. Can't turn the ball. We gotta make more stops on defense. But yeah, Roethlisberger, 24-41 for 263 yards rushing. Roethlisberger, 263 yards rushing. That'll be the day. Big Ben Roethlisberger, number 7. Ohio native at Cincy in the loss against another Ohio native in the Tiger King, Joe Burrow, who played Ohio State, transferred to LSU, won a national championship. They're now the only big opening in college football minus Virginia Tech and Washington, as Florida hires Billy Napier and USC hires Lincoln Riley. Roethlisberger finished 24-41 for 263 yards passing, not rushing, passing, along with a touchdown and 2 interceptions, one of which was returned for a touchdown. Also had a fumble, 13 points of turnovers today. Najee Harris, 8 carries, 23 yards rushing, compared to Joe Mixon's 28 carries. Mixon had more carries than Harris had yards rushing. 8 for 23 for Najee Harris. Joe Mixon, 28 for $165 on the ground and 2 rushing touchdowns. Burrow also had a rushing touchdown, 1 for 8 to take a 7-0 lead for the first interception. 10-0, 10-3 before they scored. Third one answered, and then Pittsburgh with the passing touchdown from Roethlisberger. Freiermuth, 41-10, your final score. But Deontay Johnson had 9 catches for 95 yards receiving. Chase Claypool, 3 for 82. Pat Freiermuth, 4 catches, 40 yards and a touchdown. Najee Harris, 3 catches 14 yards out of the backfield, so not even 50 all-purpose yards. Whereas Mixon had a few catches for a few yards, but single-handedly, the Bengals beat the Steelers today with Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon. T. Higgins had a receiving touchdown and a reception from 32 yards out. Also had another, but then they marked him short, and then Mixon ran it in a play later anyway. So, yeah. A passing touchdown by Burrow. A rushing touchdown by Burrow. 2 rushing touchdowns by Mixon. The interception return. On the second INT by Ben, then he fumbled later, and then 2 field goals. That's 41 points, and they win by 31, 41-10. So Roethlisberger finished once again 24-41, 263, a touchdown and a pick, was sacked 3 times. Burrow was 20-24 for a $190, a touchdown interception, but his interception was non-existent, didn't matter, because Ben threw the pick 6 one play later. He was also sacked twice, but in the end, the Steelers lost and the Bengals won, and they got their ass kicked and they deserved to lose. There wasn't any fight, it seemed like, until the end of the game, and it was, of course, once again, a little too late. It starts up front. You got to be able to block the run. They have no running game. Ben can't once again do it all by himself. Got to get the ball even more to Deontay Johnson. Claypool had a bad game. Even with the injuries and some returning and some not, it's still next man up mentality. Standard is standard. One play, one drive at a time, and you go out and play your best. And they didn't today, plain and simple. Need to get the ball more to the tight ends in Freiermuth and Ebron. You can't just put yourself in a hole and turn it over and have no running game and give up big plays on defense and expect to come back and win the game. You're selling yourself short is all you're doing. You're dead from the start. They had no pulse here today. None. I don't care if they scored 10 points or not. They were a flat line in the loss at Cincinnati. Deontay Johnson, as I mentioned, finished 9 catches, 95 yards. Claypool, 3 for 82. Had a lot of drops, so back to being stone hands, I see. Freiermuth, 4 for 40 in the score. Najee, 3 for 14 on the backfield. McFarland had a catch for 11 yards. Zach Gentry, 1 for 10. Kalen Ballage, 1 for 6. James Washington, Anthony Miller, 2 catches apiece. Or 2 catches total, for a total of 5 yards. And then Burrow, 20 of 24 for $190, a touchdown interception. But the interception didn't matter because Ben threw the pick 6 one play later anyway. Mixon, 28 carries. Had more carries than Najee Harris had rushing yards. So if that's not saying something, I don't know what is. 28 carries, a $165 and 2 scores. Chris Evans also had 5 carries, 23 yards rushing. And then T. Higgins led Cincinnati in receiving. 6 catches, 114 yards in the score. Jamar Chase, 3 for 39. Tyler Boyd, 2 for 13. And Samaje Perine had a catch for 12 yards. Uzama, 3 for 9. Evans, 1 for 5. And Mixon, as mentioned, had a couple catches for a few yards as well. But, Steelers got their ass kicked. Plain and simple. There's no other way of putting it. In the meantime, the Buccaneers, with 20 seconds to play, arguably that might be the game-winning touchdown right there. Run. It's been back and forth. It's been a lot of running today with Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, and Jonathan Taylor. And they're not going to have to settle for a field goal. We got an update. Okay, here it is. Here's the rushing touchdown, which I just saw. 20-plus yard touchdown run, essentially for the win for the Bucs at the Colts. And the extra point's going to be up and good. 38-31. And the Colts are going to have 20 seconds down, 7 needing a touchdown to tie this to force overtime. What a game. What a game this has been. For the most part, I've seen most of it. I mean, highlight-wise on Red Zone and then bonus coverage now on Fox. But It starts up front, give up a block to run, and both these teams know how to run the football. The Steelers don't, and they lose again. 2 in a row. Haven't won in a month. Come next week, with the tie, of course, in between. They're now 5-5-1, and they'll host the Ravens next Sunday. But it looks like Tampa's going to beat the Colts. Bruce Arians back in his former home as the offense coordinator and interim, taking over for Chuck Pagano during his cancer battle with leukemia back in 2012. Andrew Luck's rookie year, and then he got the Cardinal job, got fired, took a year off, and then now in his third year as the Buccaneer coach, had Jameis Winston. If we can win with him, we sure as hell can win without him. They bring Brady in and they win the Super Bowl last year. And they've lost a few in a row. But it looks like they'll get their 8th one of the year here today. Once again, there's still a lot of teams middle of the pack. 4, 5, 6, 7 wins. Few standing out, of course. Colts on a kickoff return. Are you kidding me? Okay, they bring them down inside the 40, it looks like. But good starting field position with 10 seconds. They need a touchdown to tie it to force OT. Wow, what a game. What a game. I know coming up on Fox, of course, the Rams and Packers also coming off losses. Rams actually on a bye last week, but they lost on the Monday night week prior at San Fran, if you can recall. And then, of course, Green Bay lost at Minnesota last Sunday. Fox has been getting a few good 1 o'clock kicks down to the wire past few weeks, and here we are with Tampa Bay and Indy. But yeah, it's been run with these two. It's back and forth. I have to look up some stats on that, but see who wins this game, and then we'll get into Baltimore hosting Cleveland tonight on Sunday Night Football. But before that, and right after this, Rams Packers coming up momentarily between Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers, and Stafford's return to the NFC North from the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Carson Wentz pass incomplete, 10 for Jack Doyle. They got 5 seconds. They got one play, 2nd and 10. Needing a touchdown to tie to force overtime. Indy right there. They should have a few more wins too, to be honest with you. They lost a few close ones earlier this year. But we'll sign off here in a little bit, see who wins this, and then, of course, see kick with the Rams and Packers and go from there. Was planning on doing live watch along reactions of LA and Green Bay coming up here shortly, but hell, we're already close to kickoff here. And if I do, because it looks like a no right now, with timing, if I do, it'll be the second half, depending on how the first half goes. So, yeah, that's the best case scenario right now at this point. And then tomorrow night as well with Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw. So be sure to tune in then, and then keep an eye for those videos this week as well. But one of the whole game with the Rams and Packers, we're not going to get it. We'll get the second half. How about that? I know I've said live watch on reactions today of both Steelers, Bengals, and Rams, Packers. But we'll get the second half. So that'll be a different live stream after this. Give myself some time to reset here. There's just not enough time in between this finish. With this bonus coverage of Tampa and Indy following the Bengal win over the Steelers, 41-10 over the Steelers. Here's your final play of the game. Hail Mary to tie to force overtime. Carson Wentz intercepted the 1 yard line. The Bucs will win 38-31 against the Indianapolis Colts for the 8th win of the season after a game-winning touchdown from Leonard Fournette with 20 seconds to play on a 20-plus yard rushing touchdown. It was run. Both these teams all day long, back and forth. What a game. The Bucs win 38-31 on the road. arguably the best game so far today. The three on paper coming in, I thought at 1 o'clock, along with Rams Packers, is the fourth best in because it's at 4 o'clock just later. Three best at 1. Four best games in general today, though. Tennessee, New England. New England won. Tampa Bay, Indy. Tampa won. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. The Bengals blow out the Steelers. Win by 31. And then coming up, Rams, Packers. So they're going to continue post-game on CBS. But on Fox, watch on TV2 with Giants-Eagles, with Big Blue winning, and then bonus coverage. We're going to turn on Fox on the big TV number 1, and see the opening of the Rams and Packers as the offense is being introduced. I'm sure Rodgers will be getting a big ovation, but yeah, tough one for Pittsburgh today, no doubt about it. Just very frustrating. No running game. No running game. Can't get off the field on defense. No stops. We made a few, but since he didn't punt until the third quarter, it was 31-3 at halftime. I go back to what I said. Okay, 17-3, 24-3. They were still in it, but then it switched with that pick six, and the Bengals didn't look back after that. 31-3 at halftime. They won the second half as well, 10-7 there, and they win your final score 41-10. But now we'll switch to Fox from Lambeau Field in Green Bay. We'll have the Packers hosting the Rams with Joe Buck, Troy Aikman on the call with Aaron Andrews and Christina Pink, Tom Rinaldi down the sideline. They called the Bears game-winning field goal win at Detroit on Thanksgiving. The Raiders also won a game-winning field goal at Dallas in overtime, and the Bills beat the Saints. We've recapped everything that's already happened today with the other 1 o'clock game to finish there. Tampa winning at Indy. We'll have 3 games here about to kick off with, the Chargers and Broncos are already underway, but San Fran and Minnesota, and then also right now with the Rams and Packers about to kick off. And then I'll be back on to start the third quarter for live watch-along reactions, live right here on YouTube for the LA Rams and Green Bay Packers. So we'll see what happens this first half. If it gets out of hand, then no. Like if it's a blowout as, the Bengals-Steelers game was, and yeah, you'll see me tomorrow night then at that rate. No, I know I said live watch-along reactions today of Steelers-Bengals and Rams-Packers. But with timing-wise now into this game and wanting it to be 2 streams, going to be a man of my word, but it's just going to be just the second half now of Rams Packers. Both teams coming off losses. Rams coming off a bye as well. But should be a good game. Stafford returning to the NFC North. It is the Rams and Packers kick off 1st and 10 LA from the 25. So how about this? We'll see both opening drives, and then we'll sign off, and then we'll be back for the second half with these two. And then we'll go from there. And then hopefully we'll be back in tomorrow for more live watch-along reactions live here on YouTube with Monday Night Football. Will be Seahawks and Skins. Watch football team, if you will. And then Monday Night Raw. Keep an eye out for college football coaching carousel video this week as well. As we mentioned earlier, some big breaking news in that. So go back and check that out. But 2nd and 5 after 5-yard pickup. One play in here today. Stafford going to be under center. And he's going to stumble, trip and fall. He's going to hand off, and they get a first down run. Okay. So that play was a disaster from the start, but luckily he got it to his back, and Henderson gets a first down and 8 yards on the run. So, yeah, of course, a lot going on. It's the best time of the year. Hopefully everyone had a happy Thanksgiving, and following the regular season finale in college football yesterday, conference championship games now next weekend. Here we are, NFL Sunday. Been a good day. Got trips now top of your screen. 1st and 10 for the Rams from the 37-yard line. Fake the give. Run a screen. And the Rams get 4 to the 41. 2nd down and 6. So, yeah, we'll do these 2 opening drives for LA and Green Bay. And then we'll be back for the second half. But that'll be a different live watch on our stream, so be sure to keep an eye out. Just be sure to subscribe. Subscribe, little notification bell next to it as well if you haven't done so already. 2nd and 6 from the 41. And, of course, LA having Stafford at quarterback now. Fake the toss, roll out near side. Made a trade with Detroit. Straight up for Jared Goff back this past offseason. Pass intended for Tyler Higbee, incomplete. 3rd down and 6. All the stars are in LA. They just signed Odell Beckham Jr. after the Browns and him parted ways after Halloween. It was down to Green Bay and LA, so they say. And he signed with the Rams, and now the Rams at the Packers today. So, big game in the NFC. A playoff rematch from last year, I might add as well, in which Green Bay won in the divisional round before they lost to the Bucs at home in the conference championship game before Tampa beat Kansas City in the Super Bowl. 3rd down and 6 from the 41. Trips near side. Stafford out of the gun, looking to throw. Complete. Actually behind, back up 8. And a 3 and out. After the drive stalls. And LA's on the punt. And Green Bay and discount double check himself. Aaron Rodgers in his COVID toe. That is not a thing. That was just a story to get people talking. His broken toe he has will be out on the field for the first time here this afternoon. Big booming punt inside the 20. It's going to bounce, and Green Bay's going to let it roll inside the 10 down to the 6. 1st and 10 Green Bay from there. Tied at 0, 12:31 to play in this opening quarter. So Rodgers is going to trot on. Broken toe and all, he'll be all right. He'll be okay. We'll get back to it here in a second, then we'll sign off. Rams go 3 and out. See if Green Bay can do something here, but just be sure to tune back in for the second half. We'll have more live watch along actions then. Wanted the full game, but we won't get it. We'll get the opening drives in the second half. Make it worthwhile. But, yeah, tough one for the Steelers. You know, once again, no running game, can't turn the ball over, but it starts up front. No running game, can't stop the run, can't hardly make any, couldn't have made hardly any stops today. I mean, they could have, but they didn't. Could have, would have, should have. They lose for the second straight series this year. They lost 3 straight earlier this year, 1 and 3, 4 in a row, tie, loss. But yeah, just frustrating, very frustrating. Turnovers, 13 points off that, but still can't cut it anyway. So I mean, that's out of the question. But you still can't turn the ball over and expect to win. There's no running game, and it starts there because it opens up the rest of the playbook. Roethlisberger can't do it all by himself. You know, he had 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown, and a fumble as well. And then just not getting, I mean, they are, but they're not, you know, playmakers the ball. I mean, Johnson, okay, had the ball 9 times for 95 yards. Claypool, 3 for 82? Yeah, okay. You need to go tight ends more, but they got to run the ball more. Because look at Mixon, 28 carries for $165 and 2 touchdowns. He had more carries than Najee Harris had yards rushing. That's a shame. It's an absolute shame. Defensively, okay, they got TJ Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick back. Minka had a pick, but it didn't matter because Ben threw a pick 6 one play later. Hopefully Joe Hayden comes back soon. I think he will next week. We'll see, though. But they just got to make stops on defense, find a running game, and not turn the ball over, plain and simple. You can't not run the football, turn over as many times as you did, and not make stops on defense and expect to win. Plain and simple. There's no other way of putting it. So I'll leave it at that. But the Bengals beat the Steelers 41-10. But back to it, 1st and 10 now from the 6. Rodgers going to hand off. Aaron Jones, who's active today, he is playing. About a 3, maybe 4-yard run for him to the 9. And now 2nd down. Rodgers showed his broken toe off to the world. Extremely painful. He heard it while he was on the COVID-19 reserve list. Probably powerlifting, but I'll digress. He needs to, for a touchdown celebration, if he runs it in today, he needs the air guitar. He's been teasing that all year. He needs to air guitar a little bit. Or maybe kick it into the stands as his toe is fine. And COVID toe, give me a fucking break. What the hell is that? No way in hell. And now they're saying there's this new variant. My ass there is. Just turning more into a political scheme than it has been to this point. I mean, how much worse can it get? We'll see. But Jones up the middle. 6, maybe 7 yards on 1st down there, 2nd down. But, yeah, Rodgers playing. He's fine. And then, of course, he's got his book club now, too. But Rodgers and the Packers, who knows if it's his last year in Green Bay. You know, the thing is, the problem is the fucking media. You know, they try to get a story out of nothing. Sometimes they succeed, sometimes they don't. When they don't, they just keep hammering you. Jones on another run up the middle, 3rd and short. And like Mike McCarthy said after the loss against the Raiders on Thanksgiving, you know, with all the penalties, is like, you know, I don't know what the hell you want me to say. You know, write what you want, I'm all for it. You never hear a head coach say that. You know, write whatever the hell you want, I'm all for it. No. Because they're going to write what they want to begin with, but he says, write whatever the hell you want, I'm all for it, the former Packer coach, now in Dallas. But now 3rd and 2, trips near side from the 25. Play clock winding down. Hard count doesn't work. Rodgers gets it off. Complete to Devontae Adams up past 35 to the 40. 1st and 10 Green Bay. Under 10 to play now. In this opening quarter. So underway with these 3 4 o'clock kicks now. The Chargers and Broncos, the Niners and Vikings, and now also the Rams and Packers, with Sunday Night Football being Browns, Ravens, Monday night, Seattle, and Washington. 1st and 10 from the 40. Adams in motion. Rodgers pump fakes, dumps off on a screen near side to A.J. Dillon, the former Eagle from Chestnut Hill. And he's not going to get anywhere. Barely got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. 2nd down and 10. And the former Penn Stater and Delaware Blue Hen, 51 Troy Reader, on the stop. So
At the initial look, it looked like he was going to get an opportunity to line up against him.
2nd and 10 from the 40. I can do 2 games. I can do 3 games. I've done triple headers before. It's just I wanted to do both full games here, but timing-wise, in between, and I want it to be 2 streams with, of course, the finish up of Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and then bonus coverage, which we saw. Of course, recap and everything. This game starts. 2 streams rather than 1. Do these first opening drives, sign off. I'll be back. Don't worry. No, I'm fine. To answer your question. So, I mean, if you tune in a little bit more, you'd know that. Just be sure to subscribe. But now 3rd and 9. And a slant over the middle, complete to Cobb. He's going to be marked short, though. 4th and about 1.5 yards, maybe 2. And Green Bay's fans want him to go for it. They'll probably end up punting. They're going to go for it. Green Bay's going to go for it here. 4th and 1. Rodgers trying to get the crowd quiet. But they're going to go for it here. 4th and 1 from around midfield.
I said it before, not every yard is the same. This is a full yard that they're looking at on 4th down. Always have to be careful against Rodgers. It's a defense and a hard count.
They're going to try to get him to jump. No, they snap it, and they get the first down. Drive continues. All right.
Big gains right here in the middle. He has a chance. He wins inside. He makes contact on Dillon before he's able to get to the first down. Just, that's tough duty for him. Just doesn't get enough help from any of his friends.
So now 1st and 10 from the 49 after a 4th down conversion. Halfway through the opening quarter here. We'll be back to begin the second half. And we'll update anything else that's going to go on in the meantime, but I highly doubt. This game will be back and forth. Probably a little low scoring, but then, you know, we get rolling in the second half. Hopefully, at least. We'll see. Cincinnati earlier put the Steelers down earlier, and they held them down the whole entire game, and just, yeah. I said what I said, so I'll shut up. But 6 now for the Packers from the 45. Another handoff. And Jones for about 1 yard or so. So yeah, this stream will be, a little longer with a game and, I don't know, another quarter or so. But then I've done a stream for just a half of football before, and it's shorter, So viewing-wise, if you're watching on demand, it's not as long as an actual live watch on action stream for a full game. But you gotta do sometimes, depending on the situation. So this time around, this is what we're gonna do. So, of course, hopefully you don't mind. Hopefully you're enjoying. Hit the thumbs up button if you are. But pass complete over the middle to Adams, and then there's a penalty flag on the field, right through Aaron Donald's hands. He might have, but Rodgers put it right through him and gets the first down. Legal hands to the face on the defense. Penalties decline with the first down. 1st and 10, Green Bay. Now, and maybe a little bit of deflection, but not much. But still right on the money for Adams, and he catches it. So, 1st and 10. 1st and 10 from the 37. 5:20 to play in the opening quarter here. Cobb in motion, fake the end around the handoff. And then Jones loses a yard in the backfield. 2nd down and 11.
Michigan Wolverines into their first ever Big Ten championship game. Looking to punch their ticket to playoffs against number 16, Iowa. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Congratulations to Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines. That was quite a game. If you didn't have a rooting interest, or if you did, it was a lot of fun to watch.
2nd and 10 from the 38. Rogers is going to roll out, throw it into the ground. 10 from Mercedes Lewis, incomplete. 3rd down and 10. So, yeah, the Rams, they were going to move the ball close to midfield. Cobb now limping on the sideline. Not a good sign for them on offense. Whatchamacallit, they went 3 and out. Drive ended up stalling. They punt. Green Bay, 4th down conversion out past midfield. No 3rd down. Let's see if they can convert. But if not here, I mean, if they can get 5-6 yards at least, be in field goal range for Crosby, he's going to go deep, far side in the end zone, incomplete, intended for the Lazard, and 4th and 10. So take a shot. I mean, I would have went something over the middle, settle for 3 if you have to. I mean, a good ball, just good coverage by the Rams and right through his hands. And now they'll off the punt as well. So both teams, Rodgers takes a shot there, falling down to the ground on the hit. Yeah. Good pass. They're going to attempt a 55-yard field goal. All right. 55-yard kick right down the middle of the field. Rams going to send somebody back deep for a return for a kick 6 maybe. And now we got a timeout. Timeout Green Bay. See if they decide to kick it still or if they're going to end up punting or maybe a fake field goal or fake punt of some sorts. I mean, it's 4th and 10. And from the 38, 48 with the end zone, another 7-8, 55-6-yard field goal, depending on who you ask. I mean, Mason Crosby, he's got the leg. I mean, the kicking game, though, for the brand with special teams, it's been all over the place this year. You know, for the most part, kickers are consistent. Every once in a while, yeah, you're going to miss one, though. Okay, so they'll end up punting rather than kicking a long field goal. Because if they miss, you know, they'll give the Rams good starting field position where if you punt here, you're going to pin them deep and make them drive on you. And to begin the game here, both teams are going to punt after both drives end up stalling around midfield. So punt will be downed. Actually, fair caught by Cooper Kupp at the 15-yard line. So Rams 1st and 10, 4:23 to play in the opening quarter after they went 3 and out. They punted. Green Bay's drive also stalled, went 3 and out with a punt as well. So 0-0 after the opening drives. We'll be back to begin the second half with another live watch-along reaction stream of this very game with the Rams and Packers. Keep an eye on the other 2 games on right now as well with the Chargers and Broncos and 49ers, Vikings, and then we'll, of course, update final stats and scores from everything today, Sunday night, Monday Night Football as well, next week, too. You should know the gist by now. So, as always, just want to say thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Thumbs up button. Hopefully tune in next week as well for more live watch-along reactions. It'll be Ravens-Steelers next Sunday. As of now, for the NFL, we'll look ahead to the schedule as well on my end for more streams. But, yeah, in the meantime, just want to say thank you for tuning in and listening. Just be sure to subscribe. Keep an eye out for more videos as well. Whether they're actual videos or live watch-along reactions, be sure to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, little notification bell next to it as well. But in the end today, the Bengals defeat the Steelers 41-10. I've said my piece on that. If you're just not tuning in, be sure to listen, watch on demand. Be sure to subscribe. Easiest way to stay updated on social media. Like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below. And then we'll be back for the second half with another live watch-along reaction stream. It'll be separate than this with the second half of Rams-Packers as they are tied at 0 here midway through the opening quarter. So everybody comes second half, but final score, Bengals defeat the Steelers 41-10. Once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description.